Hello there, and welcome back to the SWTVC show live here on YouTube, the streaming home of the SWTVC crew and the ongoing push for the continued existence, expansion, and success of the heritage scale of Star Wars collecting. I'm Evan, or as you may know me on Instagram, at Mile High Ground, or maybe even as that guy that keeps whining about Obi-Wan knees and then vague posting about stepping away for a bit and then proceeding to show up on 10 hours of live streams over the past week. As Luke Skywalker once said in that one movie that I know all of you love so much, no one's ever really gone. It's me. It's hard to stay away when I'm surrounded with cool folks that I enjoy, like those that are going to be on this panel with me on this wonderful Friday night. First up, I'm joined almost as always by a good buddy of mine, an SWTVC teammate that has been absent for the last stream or two. He speaks in dulcet tones that carry masterfully crafted wisdom like raw to get down on Friday. It's the Vintage Concepts himself, John. What's up, dude?
Hey, how you doing? How you doing?
Oh, so good, so good. I screwed up. I shaved my head, but I meant to put on a proper hat for this. Hold that thought.
Okay. I know the one live stream I miss is the one where Hasbro lets us reveal something. Oh my God! Oh, muy, I love you.
I got my Jar Jar hat.
You gotta get the eyes in front. Beautiful, beautiful.
I know. I keep meaning to wear it for these things, and then I keep forgetting. So anyway, it ties into nothing we're going to talk about today. So I'm going to go back to the other hat, but you guys are going to get a glimpse. We're not joined by Space Hut, aka Lewis, today. So I'm repping the bald crew today. Is this a bald head day? Have I ever taken my hat off on a stream?
I don't think so. You've had the flowing locks for a long time.
Yeah, so looking like a Cocker Spaniel. So. All right, well, let's keep going. Next up, it's another one of my SWTVC teammates. You may know him on Instagram.
He's not in right now. He's having technical difficulties, of course.
Oh, well,
so let's get the link to him again.
I don't have to do anything for him. He's fine.
Let's have some of our guests.
He'll get here. So thank you for noticing. So yes, let's bring in our guests then. They're familiar faces. I've talked to them recently this week. First up is Toys Are the Way. What's up, man?
Oh, what's up? Happy to be back.
Good to see you. Good to see you. It's been a while, huh? It's not like we just did a 5-hour marathon, 48 hours ago?
Not at all. And here we are again, but with different faces too.
Well, how different? Because we got another one. It's Blitz Transmissions. What's up,
hey,
Tommy?
What's up? Hello there. How we doing, everybody? I'm super excited to talk about Evan's favorite figure, Obi-Wan Colonies, tonight.
Yes.
Very, very excited. I hope hope that was a John-worthy pun there.
I have Obi-Wan Kabadnees later, which I'll accept. I'll accept any and all. Yeah. He deserves all the puns and more.
The one that I think I dropped on your stream was that it's a conspiracy from Dave Filoni ruining Star Wars.
Oh my God!
Yeah. Anyway, that's dumb. All right. Well, hey, it looks like Tyler's back, and we'll see if his tech works. But I got to give him this intro that I wrote up. You may know him on Instagram as @SWCollector3.75. It's likely also that you maybe had to fight with him on comments somewhere across the TVC sphere. I know I have. I probably did before I even knew him, but probably under a different username. So, God bless. It's Tyler. What's up, man?
Well, that is quite an introduction. Hello, everyone. For those who actually want to see me here, I guess. Whatever.
We want to see
screw the rest of you. No, I'm just kidding.
Just giving you crap, busting your chops, man.
Classic.
Yeah. So we've got an outline that John put together because I just have abdicated my hosting duties. But before we do that, I do want to take a quick look in the chat. And we've got some already. We had Riley Bob pop in before the stream started with Super Chat. Happy Friday, gentlemen. Time to talk toys with the boys, with the best-minded dudes to do it. Heck yeah, man. Appreciate the kind words. Always happy to see you in these comments and popping by. We also have Joseph. No message, but thanks for popping in. Thanks for the Super Chat. Appreciate you. And Riley Bob back again for hashtag Splits Transmissions.
Yes.
Oh man,
Thank
That
you, Brad.
stream was
Bob.
great. That stream was great on Toys for the Waste
Yeah.
channel.
Correct.
we got a little loosey goosey on that one, toys, didn't we?
I got a little interesting towards the end.
That is one word for it. Joseph, if you meant to say something and you just hit submit accidentally, just put it in the chat, man. I'll still read your comment,
Yeah.
or one of us will. You don't have to pay us twice. But we
Or do.
appreciate it very much.
But lots
I mean,
of
if you
familiar
want to pay us
names.
twice, you can. But
We've got a bunch of familiar names in the chats. We got Sci-Fi Dude. Yeah, we've got Findor Moon, who is also on that epic marathon chat with
Yes,
us.
he
He's in.
was.
Let's see, my Star Wars guys, Grant's Galaxy. Oh, look at this. Blitz Transmissions is here.
I hate that guy. Just ban him now.
Hey, Rada's going on from Nicholas Hallows, the minimalist Falcon. Oof. God, every time I feel like I get in front of a camera, my tongue just decides it's paralyzed and can't do anything. So, but yeah, I know it's Friday night. Thank you, everybody. Lorena's in here, eyes up, eyes up front. We're going to keep rooting for Satine, but as long as we get the right knees, it'll be even better.
indeed.
Yeah. So I would say I know all of us have better things to do on a Friday night, but I also know that that's false because we have pre-orders to do over the next couple weeks and
Ooh,
things to
yes.
buy and things to talk about, complain about, commiserate about, and celebrate. So let's do it. Let's jump in.
Yes.
John.
Well,
Yeah.
real quick, since John wanted to put this in the caption, we got to get
Yes.
John to sing "Rada Get Down" on Friday. And his best Rebecca
Friday.
Black.
Rada get down on Friday. Be your own man, just like Rada, and get down on Friday, everybody. Okay?
Everybody's looking forward to the week way.
Oh,
Crazy.
my God.
That's
Weak way,
crazy.
weak way.
Where's
Oh, my
Nico
God.
when you need him?
Someone call up
Oh,
Weird
man.
Al. We got another one.
Oh, man.
Oh,
That was
man.
pretty good. I'll give you that one.
Well, take us away, John.
Start with a little mail call. Let's start, as always, on a TVC show with a different line with Disney Parks Droid Factory. I know we're now in the second wave of these monthly Build-A-Droids. I think Toys of the Way, you were keeping up with the first wave, but maybe not the second wave. Was that?
Yeah, that's how I felt. And then they did this to me, and they pulled me back in, man.
I know he's such a beautiful little boy. The Pittsburgh Steelers colors for Dave Filoni there.
You know,
but-
I love Rebels, so Chopper.
Yeah.
Also, in this disguise, I had to go for it.
Yep. So this was one of the versions of Chopper that I wanted after putting together the Rebels outfits post back when they put out the Ghost a couple years ago. We got his other Imperial disguise. We still need his original Imperial disguise. Whatever. I'm glad to have another one. The second figure of the second batch went up this morning, which is R0MI Romy, I believe. I could make a Romeo and Michelle's high school reunion joke, but nobody has any idea what I'm talking about. So I'll move on and say this one comes with RJ38. These are the first 3.75-inch scale figures from Young Jedi Adventures, if you can believe
pretty
that.
Yeah,
And-
we're a step closer to Nubs.
Yes. And we're also a step closer to our second figure from Skeleton Crew, because we got the body of RX-01, the bus driver from at Atten, and now we've got the head. However, it doesn't have the chewed up gum on the back of it from the show, so it's trash. Wow.
Add your own gum. Although in this
Yes.
economy, I don't know how much gum costs, like $20, but yeah.
Get one piece and you cut it up into tiny little bits. It all works out for scaling issues. So then, yeah, I was pretty excited to see this one. I've watched some of the show. It's not for me. I can firmly say that.
Yeah.
But, it's just cute.
Well, Disney also, these droids, they ship so quick. I almost I forgot about this pre-order. I ordered a little after it went up. And then just a couple hours later, I got your order's on its way email from them. It's like,
They're
love that.
really good on the Disney store. I've never had
Yeah.
an issue
Yeah.
with them.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they very rarely do pre-orders. Every now and then they do, but usually it's in stock and you get it.
Right.
And it's nice. You don't have to wait a year.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're
Like
on
some
the
items will-
hyperspace route for sure.
Yeah. What a novel thought.
No pirates hijacking
No
the
pirates, no
shipments.
nothing.
So outside the six-figure Build-A-Droid waves, we also got the next Disney Parks Halloween droid, R2 Werewolf. Oh, and it's got me howling. I'm howling for you, baby. But he's got I love this red plaid. This is just, Black Series has the ridiculous Halloween figures, but these are at least constricted to a separate line, not taking up TVC slots. But I
Not the
love
flannel daddy R2.
Dude,
the brawny
I love
man.
it.
The
R2D2.
brawny man R2.
The second that I opened it up yesterday, it popped into my head was the 30 Rock werewolf bar mitzvah, spooky, scary. And it's just
So you
When we
mean
fight-
the like Arlisle like anthem, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
this has got to be Arlyle's droid, I think.
Yep.
Yeah. Oh, that's true. You should put this in your cantina, guys.
Yeah, why not?
yeah. This can go in Arlyle's X-wing or whatever, or do an Arlyle Shoes 8-2, and I'll buy it and throw this guy on it. It's fine.
Retro colored Arlisle and or his retro colored X-wing.
All right, you're getting ahead of yourself there. All right.
I'm out.
Yeah, I'm getting sadder with each syllable.
Back in Obi-Wan with the knees too.
Oh, buddy. Well, it's been a great show, guys. We'll see you.
So, if you're looking for TVC, though, you can head to Target. Why not? They recently reset their toy sections for fall. Some of them have gotten TVC. I've seen them in a few of my different stores. There's also the new Retro Collection, A New Hope 6-pack, if you're into that sort of thing. The previous spring TVC wave with figures from Mando and Grogu and Maul Shadow Lord is popping up again as we await the next wave. I did pick up another AT-AT driver the other day because I only had 2 loose, like in the movie. And then I remember there's multiple AT-ATs in the movie, so why not get multiple drivers? Hello, that's how we feed our sickness. We got to justify it in our own minds.
I almost impulse bought another Maroc when I saw it hanging this week. But why do I need it? I don't.
Get a little rust going on there for an Ahsoka version, because who knows if they'll ever do that for TVC.
I'd be so down for that. I really would. I mean, it's such a great figure from this year. It seems to have been very popular. So I feel like, wait a couple years after Ahsoka season 2 and, stick it on a easy repack.
Do it for the Ahsoka 20th anniversary. There you go.
Oh, jeez.
Because
I don't even know if I'll alive by then.
Because Black Series just the opposite. They got the Ahsoka one first, and they just did the repaint for Shadow Lord.
It's a night and day difference. That first one, that rust paint was rough on that one. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wiping his Cheeto fingers all over his armor or something.
And the armor was like so dull. It was just base plastic. I love the paint on the new one.
The coloring was just, it was way too like light gray. Just totally off.
I would imagine ours would look a lot better. But one thing I would love them to add, and I know they won't do it, but his single-bladed lightsaber.
Yes.
They never.
Oh, that's why I need to get an extra one.
Yeah.
I know.
No,
So I can break
you
it.
can always just use an X-Acto knife, right?
Yeah,
but it's like
that's what I did with Reva.
Come on.
Nice. So you can get him at Target. You can also get this big, beautiful boy, Zeb, in his new Republic Pilot gear. I've seen him at multiple stores. I got mine from Pulse. It is shipping from Pulse and Amazon right now as well. It's another third great Zeb in TVC.
I thought he was sold out on Pulse now.
Oh, is he? I'm not sure.
I thought I saw that the other day.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, I just, if you guys are familiar, I did get an early sample of Zeb a couple months back at this point. Free thing, which was awesome. I was going to pay it forward. I didn't cancel any of my pre-orders for Zeb, so I did end up with an extra one. I'm going to pay it forward, so stay tuned for a post from SWTVC and or me. I'll be giving away a Zeb as just kind of a token of appreciation. So
awesome.
Nice.
Yeah. What an awesome, nice guy. What a kind gesture.
Oh,
well,
thanks.
I will just say Evan does this all the time, and it really. I'm not trying to solicit more, donations and super chats here, but I will just say those who do decide to contribute, no obligation whatsoever, but it does often go right back into stuff like that, into giving back to the community. I mean, Evan gave away a ghost, right? So. It helps. It helps a lot. It helps keep the lights on around here, so we appreciate it.
Yeah, and it's just nice to give something back. So
yeah,
absolutely.
Everyone loves a good figure in their life.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Spreading the love of TVC.
Because when did you get yours from the Hasbro box? A couple months ago, right?
Would that have been May or June? I can't remember. I could easily look.
When did they reveal it? In May? I think they revealed it in
May,
May,
it was like right after.
Yeah,
it was within like
short
a week. So
yeah, I feel like you got it sometime early June. Something like that.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun, and lessons learned about how to do a live figure review of something that's new. Awkward.
Great. No, you did great, dude. I tuned in. It was awesome.
Oh, thanks. But yeah.
So Next up, we got another big, beautiful, beefy boy. I'm not talking about you, Evan, though. I'm talking about Zeb. But we got the big Ore, my boy, my guy, my crocodile king. I love him. Tyler had some great shots of these. I know Evan might have pulled them, but yes. So the first one he came out with the gate with was him dead on his back, on his side. I said, let him live for a second first.
He's just taking a nap.
I will just say, there are people who took better pictures, more professional pictures, Bantha Skull, Porg Dameron on Instagram. Tim with Boss Bounty did a review as well. I'm pretty sure he already did it. But what I wanted to emphasize on was the chariot, because no one had taken a picture of the chariot on its side during the aggressive negotiation scene. Thank you, Lorena. And so, I remember some people, when they originally revealed it, people were like, oh, it looks too small. I don't think it's going to work for, when they're taking cover in that scene. It looks too small, it looks too undersized. It's going to be too short when you flip it on its side. I don't know, man. I mean, you be the judge. You guys tell us in the chat. I think it looks pretty on point. I'm pretty happy with it. Yeah. Padme, she fits in there perfectly well, all crouched up. And obviously we're going to have a much better Anakin here soon, but I had to work with the best that I had at the time. Okay. So, I almost used the Revenge of the Sith one, but I was like, nah, someone's going to be like, that's not the right one. Yes, I know. Thank you. Yes.
Have you ever seen the movie, dude? What's wrong with you?
Yeah.
I wanted to just point one thing out though. And that's that, like, kind of, we're going to get into this with the saggy knees later, but I can just get this freaking thing out. Oh my God, did these come out? There we go. Okay. The Ore here has this this thing going on with it's kind of the same thing that they're doing with, like, trying to cover the joints.
Yeah.
And, like, I get it when it's in a neutral pose. I understand what they're going for, but when you try to, like, turn the leg,
oh yeah, that doesn't look
Yes.
it's weird, man. Like, Hasbro, can you guys stop doing that? Like, stop doing that. It's weird.
I'd rather see the joint. Like, that doesn't look great.
I think you guys need to kind of pick your battles when you're hiding the joints, because listen, I'm not trying to say I don't like the Ore. I do. I like it very much. I'm happy to have it after 23 years, 24 years. Very happy to have this. It's beautiful. It's definitive. I like it very, very much. All I'm saying is the joint hiding needs to be reviewed, I think.
It's a swing and a miss, and we'll talk about it for several things, but yeah.
I don't hate the Ore.
No, not the Ore. Just the style, that knee style, yeah.
One joint I was wondering about was because he articulates, the jaw articulates from the top, but it's still got some great unhindered head articulation for lots of fun, expressive poses and stuff.
I love that picture where Steve had it sitting, waving when the initial, like...
Yeah.
That's still my favorite picture.
I haven't opened it yet. I bought two to start so that I would have one Picador to keep carded. I don't know what I'm gonna do with the other cart, but anyway.
I have a weird question about the thing. I haven't seen anybody. Is the you know how they do that cool, like, marbled metallic looking plastic? Do they do that for the chariot? Like, is it that? Because, like, the Super Battle Droid, if you look, he has, like, the metallic look to the plastic. It's got, like, that almost like a marbling to it when you I it.
It kind of looked like it had it.
Yeah,
it's not paint. Yeah. Is it on there on the chariot?
No,
no.
It looks pretty solid color.
It still looks like shiny though, which is good. That's what.
Yeah, I was gonna say in your photo, Tyler. I was looking at it. I was like, oh, nice. It's kind of got like the metallic look to it.
It also has the same.
Yeah.
I just love the Geonosian, architecture or ship design. It reminds me of the Solar Sailor or the old Geonosian starfighter we have.
Yeah.
But just whoever
also
thought.
Nice details on the inside too.
Yeah. The Mustache of Knowledge did tell me that there are 4 Ores in the arena.
Yes.
So I did end up ordering 4, and my Ores are on the Orway in the mail. So again,
gosh,
nice.
Trying to be
I think it must be a mustache thing with the puns, because
Where did you order yours from?
I went through Big Bad Toy Store. So they actually showed up. I shipped mine on like the first of the month. Whatever's in there, I shipped my pile of loot. So they showed up like right at the end of July. So
yeah, Pulse still says October 1st because I ordered 2 from Entertainment Earth and 2 from Pulse.
Yeah,
it's got to spread the love a little bit, but and I know they're missing the extra saddle, but it still looks great with the Geonosian on there, and we're closer to the definitive full Ore experience than we've ever been.
You know what? So sometimes I'll take what I can get.
Yes,
and I'm sure I will take what I can get.
Some 3D printer out there, if you want to do an extra saddle, I will buy. I don't usually go for the fan-made stuff, but dang it, cool. I'll get the saddle for that. But yeah, I'm going to have a lot of the extra chariots.
Yeah. It's so funny to watch Evan and John slowly
get into it.
Like let their guard down and get into customs, just get beaten down into, into buying and making customs like the rest of us. Like,
I have grown weary waiting for my pen solo.
I just have, I don't see a world in which they're going to release a saddle by itself without the Ore, but who knows?
Yeah. Literally next year they're going to announce that. Repack.
I saw somebody said something about the Super Battle Droid. Do you mind if I absolutely glaze the Super Battle Droid?
Do it. Grant's Galaxy asking, is the Super worth it?
Yes. Resounding yes. This is easily one of my most favorite TVC action figures of all time. I'm trying to get my camera to focus here, but the amount of articulation these guys have is just insane. And I got to say, I feel the same way about the B1s. I'm not going to lie. I've been having so much fun with the amount of articulation. I have to say, most of my opinion comes from being a Black Series collector before I jumped into TVC. These guys are so much, especially the B1. This is so much sturdier than the Black Series B1. Like the ball joints at the hips, the ball joints at the shoulders. The Black Series doesn't have that. You could just get this guy to really plant his feet. They have such a good center of gravity. And like my favorite thing about the Super is like at the hips, he's got a ball joint. It's got some great range. You can go in, you can bring it out, but then he's also got that swivel at the top of the thigh. Oh, it's just amazing. The leg, you can bend it well past that 90 degree. It's just, I can't say enough nice things. And they did do that, but like marbled plastic. It's like the best way I can explain it. It gives such a nice metallic effect. And because it's cast differently for every single droid, it makes them look like individuals in the crowd. So I seriously can't say enough good things about these dudes. Yeah,
indeed. I will just say these ones are great,
and everyone's bringing it up. It is unfortunate that the joint is in the bicep instead of the wrists because it's not able to achieve the look that it literally marches on screen to, from its very first appearance in Star Wars. It's marching out with its forearm facing forward, and it can't do that, and it's very frustrating because his figure is otherwise like a perfect 10. It's a 9 that should have been a 10, could have been a 10, can be a 10 if you'll just fix it, Hasbro.
I honestly I think they should maybe try to just do a swap out arm, because even the Black Series one, like it can kind of get it, but it's still not like, it still kind of is that 90 degree. You can't get that like nice hugged tight pose that they do. So I honestly, maybe a swap out arm would be better with a subsequent.
Maybe. Well, they release. Also, as Tanith, of course, pointed out, we have the same mind. But when he's got the arm out, the circle should be like that. Like on the figure, it's like that.
Yeah.
Because of the way it is, but it should be like that.
Yeah.
So it's, I don't know.
It was just as simple. They just put it in the wrong spot.
Just got to throw that complaint out there, because I do want them to go wild with the repaints on this guy. We did posts about it on.
Yes,
well, maybe they'll fix it on the next reissue of the figure.
Maybe.
Wait a sec.
Or they should redo it for
I'm not
Clone
trying
Wars
to say
version, which has the double wrist cannon.
True that.
Yeah.
That's their opportunity right there to correct.
Although I don't have it in hand yet, from all accounts, it is an outstanding figure.
Oh, it's amazing.
It's just got this one thing that's got to get fixed, like the Obi-Wan with the knees. And I think it would be worth, obviously we're going to talk about that later, but I think it would be worth fixing this, because we do want more different variants. John put up a great post. I don't know, did you put the jet variant from Battlefront? Okay. Because that would need some retooling, right? Like the torso has like a jetpack like the
No,
vents in the back?
No, because in the show, in the Clone Wars, they just took the regular model and they just repainted it, so they didn't even add any like new.
In the video game, it's the exact same model as well.
And then there is another one, like the B2RP or whatever. It's all in the post. Tyler, go read it for God's sake. Everybody go read it.
I guess like,
but because there's like
parts here.
Yeah,
it's got like little striations there for the vents. And painted on.
Okay. Yeah, and because they did this version, they did that version and the training version in the animated Clone Wars line, but never in a realistic version. And they were just straight up repaints. But
okay,
I'll just say the other.
In any case, there's a lot of potential for putting that sculpt back out there, and they should. But I would like them to fix it before they do so.
Before we get into another Stormtrooper situation where it's a perfect figure except for the damn barbell hips,
and then they just keep going with it. Yeah.
Yes, let's get 12 new ones every year. But I still don't have this 4-pack. Mine was lost in the mail. I was out of town for a couple weeks.
Yeah,
and
DHL, huh?
Yeah, DHL. God bless them. They said they left a notice, and then I didn't know until I opened a dozen packages that I got when I was back from being gone for 2 weeks. And the droids weren't in there, so then I checked, and it said, yeah, we left a notice 2 weeks ago. And I said, no, you didn't. But then luckily, Pulse hooked me up. Their customer services, I've always had good experiences with them.
Same.
Yeah.
And so they're shipping them out again, which is very nice.
Yeah, that happened to me with the E-Wing last year or the year before. Yeah, that was... Yeah, Hasbro Pulse worked it out. So DHL was just like, we don't know what this is. So
do you guys have any? You guys pre-ordered the Clone Trooper 4-packs, right?
Yes.
Okay. Did you also get that email? Like, it would have been like 2 weeks ago now, where like they said, hey, it's going to process August 1st.
Yep.
And like I haven't heard anything since then.
Yeah.
That's an issue I have from time to time with Pulse. I will say, because it's like they'll tell you a pre-order's coming like months ahead of time. Yeah. And then you end up waiting almost a month after it's supposed to drop.
Their dates are just all out of whack for everything. If I see a date on Hasbro Pulse, I just am assuming that it'll happen when it happens, and it could be way before, it could be way afterwards.
Well, see, the danger is that when you're like me and Tommy, and even Toys of the Way, when we plan on buying 27 packs of Clone Troopers and it's like $2,000, I kind of need your shipping date to be on point.
What, you don't just have a cool 2K just sitting around ready to go?
I know people think that I'm rich or something because I'm actually just a really reckless and irresponsible person.
Yes.
See my speeding tickets. But anyway, I would like you guys to kind of figure out when you're going to ship stuff. If you say, hey, we're going to ship this November 1st, don't ship it in September. I don't appreciate that, actually.
Yeah. Hey, man, with great figures comes great irresponsibility.
I have noticed, I was looking at the dates for some of the later stuff we talk about, but like Entertainment Earth will often have release dates that are more in line with what they're going to be. Yeah. And they're usually a month or two.
Amazon, too.
Pulse. Yeah.
Amazon is
Big Bad's usually pretty close. Yeah.
Okay. Mm-hmm. So I don't know, but I think the set is starting to hit in the UK. I believe I said if only Lewis were here, but I think it is. Twin Sons Collecting got theirs, I believe, the other day. Yeah. Pulse says November for this, but we have seen some comments about like off-white coloring or the plastic on the helmet and the body, different body parts doesn't quite match. So I don't know, but Lewis said in person it's not so bad. So I guess we'll find out.
Nice.
Yeah.
It might vary depending on the lighting too, so we'll see.
Yeah. One more
waiting
fun...
on the 50-gallon drum packs exclusively for that. That's how I like to get my ammo too. No, I'm just kidding.
But one more fun prequel-ish item that we have coming up is the Anakin Skywalker Nostalgia of Interest set, which was available at San Diego Comic-Con, but for the rest of us poor schmucks, it's going up this Monday, August 10th at 1 p.m. Eastern Time. Yes, again, Pork Dameron with the great shots, great review. Right here.
Follow Pork Dameron and see all of his photos.
Let it be known, brand team, I want 3 of these. Not 2, not 1, 3. So if you could please
get in line,
your max order to 3. Not 2. That would be great.
I guarantee it's going to be the same as with the clone packs. I know there was another thing we were maybe not complaining about, but that was some critiques we had. It was like you could only order 5 at a time.
Yeah, but then you have to go and
the
order.
verbiage is like order per customer, but then you can go right back in and order 5 more. So maybe
it's probably a secret we're not supposed to know or talk about. But
well, and sometimes on those army builder packs, they do. I remember talking to Emily about this years ago. They do lift the limits later on, but like for something like this, it's not going to be sitting around, is my guess.
No.
So you're going to want it quickly.
I feel like in the past they have like not allowed you to put in a second order. And it might have been the exclusive. It might have been like Chrysanthid or something.
Amazon does that.
Kind of
they only let you do so many. Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like it's. Yeah, I don't want to risk it. I feel like they're going to come to my house. Did you order 2 separate orders of 5? What the hell are you doing?
We have a warrant.
We're taking them all away and your entire
family
rest of
to
your
order
collection.
some. Your girlfriends, everything.
Your grandma, always grandma.
The figure auditors.
Your lawyer.
So, speaking of Anakin Skywalker 2 packs, on our last stream, which I was not on, much to my dismay, but you guys got to reveal the Anakin Skywalker and Cody
Still
Walmart
unreal.
exclusive 2-pack. And this now has a delivery date of August 17th, so it looks like it's just around the corner. I think Evan said, were you charged for this recently?
I don't look at my bank account. I like to look dangerously, but I did get the emails yesterday that it's like your order will ship soon. Make sure your
I don't think I got
shipping
charged
details
for
are
it.
ready. So yeah, I'll
I
look.
ordered like
I
4
don't
of
think
them,
I got
so
that
I would have
yet.
noticed.
Dude, I ordered 3, 2 for myself and 1 for Commander Bly in the chat. Super excited for these to come in, dude. This is easily the coolest collab reveal that Hasbro's ever done with a channel. I'm biased, but I'm super biased. But
Well, we really appreciate that. And I just want to say, if the brand team ever ends up watching this, once again, it was, and I know I'm kind of glazing the team here, but I just want to say I really do genuinely appreciate the opportunity to not just to reveal a product, but to reveal a product that's so cool.
Yeah,
Because I really just think that this release is just awesome. I mean, people are like, well, Anakin and Cody, I don't care. I don't care if they go together. Like, it's a cool 2-pack. And I think the presentation's really nice as far as the art. Both of the figures are really nice, it was really thrilling to be able to reveal something so awesome. So thank you again, brand team, if you end up watching this.
and shout out to Chris and Brandon for making the time to join us, to reveal it with us. That was a surprise to be sure, but a welcome one. And we got to talk through some of the stuff that we were seeing, and having it in hand, that was great,
super
man.
cool.
It was also cool to because I was able to join you guys. Thank you for having me. But it was cool to get something that we all have really wanted as well. So Anakin from Revenge of the Sith, and also give them credit. Of course, we didn't get anything during the anniversary, but it's nice to finally get it somewhat kind of close to that and be this Anakin that looks good, fantastic looking figure.
That robe in particular is
good.
quite possibly one of the
Phenomenal.
best, if not the best robe they've ever put out.
And that they
And then
fixed.
also
If it really looks like that, I mean,
yeah, and also get the update to Cody because while Cody maybe not be high on some of the fan polls and stuff like that, everyone has generally been we do need a good Cody.
I think Cody has been in the poll.
Yeah,
because
even
we don't let Cody be in our poll because there's no retools in our poll. That doesn't mean he's not wanted. He definitely is wanted.
well, even though we try to dissuade people from putting in retools, he still makes the top 100 for a few years at least, and then. But it was
Along
great
with
to see.
Yep.
And then I know in Galactic Conquest, Tommy, I know all the Revenge of the Sith commanders did really well.
Ooh, yeah.
So I'm sure Cody would have been up there if it had happened a little.
Dude,
timing
this
was different,
great.
But
yeah, speaking from the perspective of newer TVC collectors, because there are a lot of new collectors this year, both casual and diehards. Commander Cody's was before this came out was a $150 figure for the previous version if you wanted him on eBay. Anakin was around the same range, triple digits, and so this was a slam dunk for a lot of newer 100%. Collectors. I know tons of people who don't even collect TVC picked up the Obi-Wan Airborne pack, and this is the perfect companion piece for that. So I'm over the moon. Now I need a new 212th with that better helmet. I hope I get that soon.
Yes, we all want
great.
that. Hasbro, we want a new 212th trooper with real
updated helmet
that I can army build
live action colors and the better helmet and all that. Put it back
and
out
also
there.
And also, we do need Cody's portrait, but yes.
Yes.
Yeah,
And there are
I
other
think
ways to do that. And so
Yep,
the fact that
there are.
and first on Anakin real quick, I want to go back because they addressed some of the issues that folks had, of course, like his hair color was a little too light on the 3-pack version and his wrist going in. I was really glad that they updated that. I didn't think they needed, it's not something they 100% needed to do, but I'm really glad that they did it. Well, you know what I mean? Like if they didn't do it, we'd have been like, okay, dang, all right, whatever, fine, would have been nice. But it is very nice that they did that. And then Cody now is awesome and can lead to other clones, of course, like Vaughn. And I really want the Imperial Bad Batch
Cody.
repaint. And, and Phase 1
also Phase 1 Cody.
Yep. And you can put
there's
the head
opportunities to get the
and they mentioned in some of the interviews around Comic-Con, and we'll obviously into these figures later, but for the Anakin and Obi-Wan from Attack of the Clones, they said since they are a lot of reuse, we were able to add more pieces like the hands, the alternate hands, and stuff.
Okay, yep.
Not good, not great reuse on the legs. Yes. But I'm just saying.
I wasn't even talking about the legs. I was talking about specific accessories that they should have come
I know
with.
where you're going.
Yes.
It's fine. We'll talk about it when we get there.
Trying to keep it light on this
it's fine.
section, saying that if they use, since this will be a full repaint, they can hopefully add the head going forward. So there you go.
I also want to throw in, sometimes it's better to not have it than have an inaccurate version, because the Black Series Commander Cody that came out last year just has a regular clone head underneath. No scar, no correct haircut, so he's missing all the details that make him Cody. So
Cody,
I'd rather have just the helmet if that's going to be the case.
Yeah, I agree.
That's kind of hilarious. I didn't know that.
Dude, it's bad.
On the Anakin with the corrected hinge in the hand, it's nice to have both versions now, and it also gives me hope that they will fix things like the Obi-Wans, the B2 battle droid, but it's incumbent on the community to keep it top of mind with Hasbro. Keep making noise about these things. Keep reminding them, hey, you got to fix this Obi-Wan. Hey, please fix the B2. Like, please continue to make noise about these things, because if you make noise about it once and then never again, they're going to just forget about it and move on. So you have to get loud about these things and kind of keep the pressure on,
And also smart about it. Like with Evan, like your Looney Tunics and just like the constant variations of like Obi-Wan that they could do and opportunities to fix the knees and like slide that in somewhere.
And be able to reuse things as well to like make it worth their while, because, the more things that they can reuse, the bigger the tooling library, that makes it easier for us to get other things that are different in the future. And it won't be something that Hasbro will resist as much, because they'll be able to reach into the library and grab things that they already have. So,
and I should also,
like I said, I wanted to see that Clone Wars version with two blasters on the wrist, and that's their opportunity to do it.
Yeah, I would love to reiterate too that this is one of my favorite quotes from all the awesome interviews everyone did for SDCC. I have to say my personal favorite was probably Victoria's Cantina. I thought she asked amazing questions in her interview, and the flow was very good. But one of the questions she asked was about fan feedback, and Chris Reif said it very well, that they pay attention to not just what you're saying, but how you say it. So if you're just dogging on them and calling them stupid idiot morons on your posts, like they're not going to be receptive to that, because they're not even going to look at what you're saying. Whereas like if you are, it's important not just what you say, but how you say it. So if you're being cordial and you're about at the same time being articulating it in a good and respectful way, then you can expect to get some feedback a little bit more from the team.
Well, 100%. Speaking of feedback and being called a stupid idiot,
be respectful and give constructive criticism. It's one thing to point out a problem. It's another thing to go through the kind of effort like Evan does with Looney Tunics to be like, hey, you could put out a Clone Wars Obi-Wan, and that way you're giving them a different enough figure to feel like, it's not the same thing all over again, just fixed this time. It's a different figure, but it also addresses the problem. Or doing the Phantom Menace Obi-Wan, which is the same outfit, but you correct the legs, and that way you get the correct legs out of it, and you can just swap the head around or whatever, right? Like there are ways to fix this without just putting out Revenge of the Sith Obi-Wan again,
Yeah.
Do you
It's
think
about being constructive with it?
Clone Wars Obi-Wan with the fixed legs, and Clone Wars B2 Battle Droid with the fixed arms.
There you go.
Packs.
I know Anakin has the little rat tail, but could you get away with using that new Anakin hair sculpt for Phantom Menace Obi-Wan? Or does he even have the rat tail on the new Anakin?
Just
Yeah,
the
he
hair,
does.
maybe
Should,
the hair
yeah.
piece.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Like, could
Yeah.
you get away with reusing that hairpiece
Well, on what though?
on
Obi-Wan,
Obi-Wan?
episode 1?
Does
Wait,
Anakin have the
Yeah.
little rat tail, or does he not?
Oh yeah, I see. Sorry,
they both have
I've been in the
ponytail and
custom
Padawan
things.
braid.
He does.
Yeah.
He does.
They both
Yeah.
do, yeah.
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 Anakin's little rat tail is shorter though than his Padawan braid
Yeah.
is shorter than Obi-Wan's
Yeah,
was in
yeah.
Phantom Menace. Why do I know that? I totally didn't grow a rat tail Padawan braid when I was a kid in 1999, but whatever.
Now you're Obi-Wan in the Reiko Hardeen disguise from Clone Wars,
Yes.
and he has to shave his head. So you're
Yeah.
still
Yes.
rocking the Obi-Wan haircut.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But so going back, there was a lot of interviews, great interviews at San Diego Comic-Con, like from our friends John Miko and Augustine from the Facebook group, Victoria's Cantina, as you mentioned, the Imperial Communique, Yoda's News, and more. There were a lot of Black Series focused ones as well. I'm sure a lot that I missed.
Yep.
But
I think not enough people were talking about the Yoda's News interview. That was a
That one
really
was good
one.
too.
Yes,
Yeah.
it was.
Yeah, and they talked
So
about
shout
some
out
things
to
that
Angie, or it's Angie, right?
I think it's
I
Yoda.
think. Get out of here, dude.
Well, I'm saying
Yes,
talking
yes,
about the
yes.
correspondence.
Yeah.
I know.
Interviewing, I was.
Wrong these knees are. So yes, so,
bridge, I will.
If into the knees you go, only pain will you find.
Facts. Facts.
Knees of evil.
so yes, there were a few. If we're good on mail call,
Yeah,
There were
let's
a
jump
few-
in.
there are a few. Before we get into several months worth of reveals, let's touch on a few topics that have come up in the TVC world lately. Some of surrounding San Diego Comic-Con and those interviews. So first up, oh God, what's this? Oh, this just in. They're changing the packaging. Oh,
All right, I'm
the
leaving, guys.
humanity,
Have a good night.
the horror,
Tommy out
the
of here.
horror. Oh wait, sorry, Tommy, come back. That was for Black Series. Oh, phew.
Okay.
Not for Vintage Collection, but you wouldn't know it from the last few weeks of the internet. Oh my lordy God!
Yep.
But we got to get those clicks, including Steve Evans in our never-ending quest for social media engagement. Steve asked if TVC should get a packaging change like Black Series did, and of course, what's more exciting than looking at graphs? Let's show the graphs. A lot of people say we get carded, some loose. A lot of people do the carded for TVC. Seems like it would not be a great idea if they just changed that, just threw that out the window.
I wanna let's slow down.
Yes,
and
yeah.
actually
I know you. Tyler
look at
has a lot to
this.
say, as you well know if you've been on the internet in the past couple weeks. So
Let him cook.
these are a few
Yeah.
different, but we have a few. Evan's showing a few graphs.
Yeah, these are just the only two that I pulled up. I didn't include the whole different one when talking about
So-
the animated colors. So
This was run in the TVC Facebook group, and it was a few years ago. I will say we could run a newer poll, but I don't expect that the results would be any different or much different. Granted, it's 1,200 votes is about what we get for March Madness and Last Figure Standing, maybe a little bit more for those events, but it's still a pretty decent sample size if we go with Hasbro's. They say there's 15,000 approximately TVC collectors. I don't know if I believe that, but that's the number that they cite. So it's roughly about 10% of the community participated in this poll, right? And what you want to look at here is how the different responses combine to create a majority of people who collect both loose and carded, or carded only. Like, as far as the whole chart, it's a majority are interested in collecting the packaging. And so what I want to talk about here is, like, Tommy, you've been bringing it up a lot lately. Just having the discussion, and the discussion's fine. What I would caution against, though, is dismissing these consumers, these collectors. Like, you say, oh, you're collecting for the wrong reason. You should just be having fun. You should be opening your figures. You should be photographing, putting them on your display, taking pictures of them, whatever. Listen, this is how they collect. They keep them in the box like so, or like so. You know what? If they collect a different way than me, they collect a different way than me. I do actually happen to keep a lot of stuff carded. as do John and as do Evan. But these people contribute to the overall sales of our collecting community in a huge way, a way that can't and shouldn't be ignored. And they're helping to keep the line alive, right? And I don't think that these people would be continuing to buy and collect the way that they are if the packaging changed, right? And so people talk about the packaging getting stale or boring, or it's bland, it's old, it only appeals to the older generation, right? But like Tommy, you've been attracted to TVC because of the gunship, which is a vehicle choice, but also character choices. And the packaging was kind of an afterthought for you, right? So how would changing the packaging make it more appealing to you if it was the same characters being offered? Like, would you buy carded samples of alternate packaging, more if it wasn't TVC? Like, if you take a clone trooper, right, like a shock trooper, right? Obviously, they have TVC card backs, shock trooper, right? If it was in, say, Revenge of the Sith packaging or Clone Wars packaging, would you be more inclined to keep carded samples of that? I'd just like to hear.
Yeah. Well, first of all, Tyler, unfortunately, you're stupid and wrong, so I'm going to disregard the premise of your question altogether. No, that's Findor Moon's killing me here.
Yeah.
But to seriously answer your question, so first of all, I know that in classic Star Wars fandom fashion, a statement is made or a question is posed, and everything spirals way out of control. So I think that happened both with Steve's post, and I think that do you want me to pause so you can address that super chat there?
Yeah, let's set it up real quick.
Yeah, let's do that real quick.
Yeah, Marco Martinez, thank you for the super chat. It says, want to show my appreciation to the SWTVC team. Evan does great Looney Tunics. Oh, thank you. To show Hasbro some ideas to correct mistakes and to reuse for the tooling library. Packaging is still great. Agreed.
Thanks,
and now
man.
let's hear
Appreciate
from
it.
Blitz why the packaging is not still great. Get back to it.
So things that I have said on camera and comment sections, and should be again reiterated here. Ultimately, me personally, I don't care what happens with the packaging, because again, historically, I've been a Black Series collector, and Black Series has been jokingly called the bland series for the last 6 years because the packaging is so dull and boring. In the same way, I have always, since I started collecting, I have always gotten every single Clone Trooper on card, and it had nothing to do with the packaging. It had everything to do with the fact that it was a Clone Trooper. Something I will say, and this goes for a lot of Black Series collectors, and I think would translate well into the vintage collection community, would be something that we kind of discussed on Sarlacc Digest Toy Chest this past Monday, which I should also say, going into this proposed, they call it a solution. It's not, I don't mean it in the literal sense. It's just a marketing term, like, we look at it as problem solution. But we were having, I like having the conversation, as Tyler said. I think it's important that we at least have the conversation, and I get frustrated when you try to poke out your head and give an opinion that goes against the grain, and people just punch you down and get really upset about it. That is what gets on my nerves. But
to be clear, I'm not trying to punch you down.
No, you are, and I already banned you on Instagram, so it's okay. To be serious though, I really think that all right, ban that guy. We'll get him out of here, and then we'll move on to someone else. I think that chase variant cards, not like 1 in 6 chase variants, but like Black Series did first edition, and whenever in the history that I've been collecting, Black Series has done, I have them right here, Clone Wars cards for the 50th anniversary of Lucasfilm, or you can't see them, they're a little out of my reach here because I'm vertically challenged, but the Revenge of the Sith cards that they did last year, that kind of stuff, it doesn't matter what character it is. It doesn't matter if it has bad articulation. It doesn't matter if the character has its issues. I'm in on 2 instead of just 1 immediately, just because I want to keep one packaged, because this has been a much larger conversation on my channel specifically, and we've talked about it a couple times, like on Toys channel as well. I think that's a great way to tap into another generation's nostalgia, because we're hitting that Daryl DePriest 20-year rule, where it's like the prequel and Clone Wars generation are getting to that 20-year mark. We've just crested it with Revenge of the Sith last year, and we're about to hit it in 2028 with the Clone Wars movie. And I think that would be a fantastic way to appeal to the same level of nostalgia that original trilogy fans have for this card art with the racetrack here. So like, I think it would be cool to try something different. Doesn't necessarily mean that I think we should, because ultimately, no, I don't think we should change the entire TVC packaging and, that it should all go away tomorrow and burn it all down. But I do think that doing something like maybe like a limited run, like, but if you get the figures at Walmart, for example, you can get them, the first like run of them will have it on this alternate card art, which represents the original cards that the original characters came out in, whether it be Revenge of the Sith, Clone Wars, you name it. So I think ultimately it would be cool to do things like that. But yeah, ultimately, man, if they do Dirge, Pong Krell, Clone Troopers, Battle Droids, Umbarans, I don't care what packaging comes on. I'm majority and opener, so it doesn't matter to me. Like, I'm just going to rip the figure off the card anyway, so I don't care what the color and shape of the cardboard is. It just matters. I care way more about the character selection. To Tyler's point, the same thing can be said about the gunship. The same thing can be said about these Army Builder 4-packs. All these new TVC collectors, again, a lot of people that are jumping into TVC now, it's because of the character selection this year has been amazing. It has been so good for new collectors, and no one cares about the packaging. We still haven't seen the packaging for the gunship. That's not what got us into the line with that. So I think rounds out my thoughts on that. So again, to reiterate, I don't think they should change the packaging tomorrow. I don't think that you're stupid. Well, I do think you're stupid and wrong, but I don't think that the original trilogy generation should be ignored, and I will maintain those points. That that's not what I'm saying, but I do think that we should really start. It would be smart and future thinking to tap into also the nostalgia that the prequel Clone Wars generation has. There's 100%. There's nothing wrong with that at all. As I throw things off my desk, that I think it should be a bit more future thinking, and I think alternate card arts are like, maybe like chase style cards with like these, same figure, but it's like, but you could also get this alternate version,
That was my pitch.
Real quick,
that's how you turn me.
Before I forget my thoughts, because I was struggling to articulate it initially. So just to be clear, right now when you buy a Clone Trooper, you keep one carded, right? At least one carded.
At the very minimum, one open, one carded.
Would you? I'm just curious, and I do have more to say following up this question. Just yes or no. If it was an alternate packaging, such as Clone Wars packaging or Revenge of the Sith packaging, would you be more inclined to buy the same level of carded for Clone Troopers or more?
Yes.
Okay. So just I want to articulate my thoughts, like I said before I forget.
Yeah.
So, I agree with you. I think that, and I think Chris talked about this, that there's what he called wiggle room to work within TVC, right? And we see examples of this with the droids stuff and the Tartakovsky Clone Wars 2-pack, right? Very fun, exciting, cool packaging, but it was an exclusive, right? And you're still keeping the mainline stuff, kind of what, frankly, the majority of the community still wants to see. I mean, by polling data, looking at Steve's poll in his poll the other day, approximately, I think 73% basically wanted the TVC packaging to stay. But I think there's something to be said about people wanting some fun things here and there, like exclusive packaging. Like last year, Black Series did a limited run of Revenge of the Sith style packaging that was a throwback to the original 05 packaging, right? And I think if say Walmart got like Walmart a few years ago, they did the Tartakovsky wave of figures where it was Luminara, what's her Padawan's
Ayla,
name?
Barris.
Barris, Ayla, the Battle Droid, and the ARC Trooper, and Captain Fordo, right? And they did like a whole wave of those, and it was very fun. They can do stuff like that where it's exclusives and it's kind of like it's not a complete rebrand, but there's still room to have fun with stuff like that, right? And I think that's really the answer. That's the answer, and smarter character choice, right?
But smarter character choice is like overall. Like I think that's just
for sure.
An overall statement. Yep. And to just before, because I don't want to lose that. That's a perfect example. I'll use the Black Series Revenge of the Sith wave. I bought all 7 figures that they did through Walmart last year in that alternate packaging. If it was in any other box, I probably would not have picked up the Kit Fisto, the Ayla, the R2, or the Count Dooku, because I already, in my mind, I'm like, I already have those figures. But they got me to double dip because of the packaging specifically. So that is, and to the point, and I see in the chat a couple of people saying like that, well, the nostalgia really only applies to Kenner. We haven't really tried it with the prequel Clone Wars generation, so we can't say we can't say true statements about things we haven't tried yet. You know,
like you said, and they have tried it in Black Series,
and it does well. I mean,
and it works.
Those Anakin and Obi-Wan figures have both been re-released. Well, the Anakin's on a different body, but they've done the Obi-Wan again in the Clones of the Republic subline in a 2-pack. The Clone Wars carded one still maintained its value, which is like a $50-$60 figure just on its own because of the packaging. So
people talk all the time about Power of the Force. You know, the last 15 or 17 or whatever it is.
I was going to say Kenner changed the packaging once.
Yeah. So like there's room to do sort of alternate things and sort of shake it up a little bit while still overall keeping the brand. And you know, you talk about the passing of the torch, Tommy, and that is a real thing that I do think genuinely you're 100% correct about, is that this is a phenomenon that we are experiencing in this hobby right now. However, the torch hasn't been completely passed yet, right? You know, right now we're either both hands on the torch, or the torch is being wrestled over and you know, they don't want to pass the torch. You know, we can talk about that later, but all that to say, I don't think we're quite there yet. You know, I think perhaps in 5 to 10 years, it may be a different conversation about the importance of keeping the TVC packaging, maybe as more of the older sort of Kenner focused people start to leave the hobby. But I think that's still years away, to be honest with you. And right now it's important, you know, Steve talks about sorry guys, just let me get my thoughts out real quick. Steve talks about retain and recruit, right? You want to retain those people who've been collecting for decades and really care about this packaging. And if you change the packaging, they're just going to stop. A lot of them are going to stop. And now we're talking about, oh geez, you know, we're losing collectors left and right. We're hemorrhaging people. Okay. You know, well, then you go from a venous or capillary bleed to an arterial bleed for you EMS people out there. It's a big difference, right? You go from a slow trickle to you're squirting out collectors now, and you're bleeding out. Okay, like you've gone from a small wound to you've chopped your leg off, and now you're bleeding out like super fast. Okay, that's what would happen, I think, if we did an abrupt packaging change. And the community has already experienced this once. Back in 2013, was it, or 12, when TVC 1.0 was canceled? There were a lot of people who quit, and honest to God, they never came back. They never came back, and the hobby has been weak ever since then. We have persevered, we have endured, but I don't think this community could sustain that a second time in a row. A second blow like that would, I think, be really devastating. And so we need to retain those people for as long as we can. And you know, some people are insisting that if we change the packaging, it's just going to be this this magical refresh where all of a sudden it's fresh and exciting, and it's going to just attract this magical influx of all these new people who just aren't collecting because the TVC packaging is old and it's for old people and it's stale. And if you get rid of that packaging, well, you're just going to get hundreds of new people that are suddenly interested in the line. And I got to be honest, I don't see that as a reality. I see this as hypothetical people that maybe are there, but maybe not. Meanwhile, you have people that you know are definitely there buying this stuff, and you will definitely lose if you change the packaging. And at a time when we're trying to keep growing the line, or at least keep it alive, right? Keep 375 alive. I don't think we can afford to just flip the bird at these people and cut our leg off. And I think it would just be a bad idea right now.
Well,
so again, there's wiggle room for exclusives and stuff, but go ahead, John.
I have great news. They're not changing the packaging.
It's hypothetical.
I know.
This is all hypothetical.
I know.
All right.
I know. I'm just,
Sorry, guys.
I'm just saying.
No, I know, but everybody's talking about it like the line's ending tomorrow. The line's not ending tomorrow. They talked
Yes.
Victoria asked about it. Chris said, as you said, there are ways to play within it, and I have thoughts, of course, on this. I designed these cards for fun in my free time, for God's sake.
Ooh.
Yeah.
But
Amazingly, by the way.
Thank you. I'm gonna pat myself in the back.
Oh, they're all right. They're okay.
Thanks. But I'm not someone who I grew up in the 90s. I grew up with Power of the Force and the prequels and stuff like that. I have no my nostalgia for the Kinder card goes back to when they brought it back as a nostalgic thing to begin with in 2004 and beyond that. But the package itself is so, I hate to say it, I'm sorry, iconic. But it also is just it's a nice blank slate. Thank you. It's got the black, it's got the silver outline, and then anything else within those bounds is whatever they want. For the vehicles and stuff, it can be amazing product photography, like on the Ore or Rada. For the cards, you can do animated stuff.
Nice,
You can do animated stuff. You can do movie stills. You can do. There's a lot of stuff you can play with within those bounds. So I think there is still room to try new things. I know some people freaked out about the Tartakovsky images on those Walmart exclusives you mentioned, but I think they can do.
Did they really?
They did. They can do another wave of those. I think they could.
My buying habits. I buy at least 2 of everything. I keep 1 carded, and I keep.
Chill.
I open at least 1 loose. When it comes to army builders, obviously I buy dozens and dozens. Right, like I got tons of troopers here. Right. Would I do that with an alternate packaging? I don't know. Probably not.
No, and I was never a card collector, and frankly, by all reasoning, I shouldn't be a card collector at this point. But I still.
I was going to ask you, John, because you're.
Yeah.
I don't want to call you a hoarder.
Well, yeah, you can call me a hoarder. One very easy place.
We've all got hoarding tendencies. All right.
Do you keep carded or mint in box from older lines? Like, do you have
I don't.
a whole
So
carded collection of? Yeah.
I didn't start until TVC 2.0 because I got it. I didn't expect it to be going 8 years, and God willing, it goes 8 more at least. But that's why I wanted to ask Evan, because I know you do carded from other lines as well, right? Yeah. Do you still, or you did, or
I do, and I still have a far from complete, thing from other lines, but I do, I've been kind of filling in bits and pieces, and I do have, carded lines from like 03 Clone Wars, and a bunch of Power of the Force and Episode 1 carded stuff, and all of the Revenge of the Sith and most of the Attack of the Clones saga stuff of the things I grew up with, because I had a lot of them. I had the carded ones and openers while growing up, and then when I got my own money, I liked actually doing that. And vintage collection, I am a 2 of everything person. And toys, we mentioned this on your show, and it's been mentioned in some comments and kind of alluded to. And Tommy, I think you can threw it out there. It's like the yes and thing that you had talked about, Tommy.
Hashtag yes and.
Yes.
That's an improv show now.
Yeah, but I'm already that 2 of everything collector, so I'm like a perfect sucker where if Hasbro were to do alt cards or to do packaging alternatives, not getting rid of the Kenner packaging, not getting rid of TVC, but like doing a run of something in alt packages, I'd be a 3 of everything collector. That I'm an easy mark for them, but I know I'm not the majority, and it's harder and harder to do and to justify. But my OCD with my carded collection, it would hurt if the Kenner cards went away, because I love this big shelf that I have in my collection room where I can go in and rearrange and look and
it's
just,
really
stare at things at my carded collection. That's now, 500 some figures deep, really, of vintage or Kenner style card backs with modern figures being modern, stretching back to 2004. It's very satisfying and it scratches an itch in my brain. I know that's not for everybody. I don't speak for anybody. But I don't see it going anywhere. But if they want to get crazy with it, if they want to do fun packaging variants, or do, multi-packs or boxes that contain Kenner carded figures, but the boxes are interesting and different, sign me up, dude. I would be stoked.
Yeah.
Real quick, I just want to say one last thing. I know I'm going to sound biased because I do collect some of these, but I do generally think it's really nice and iconic packaging that screams Star Wars, and it does go back to the very beginning when we talk about the heritage scale. This is kind of part of the DNA of 3 3/4, and I'm not trying to say that I haven't enjoyed any other packaging styles over the years. I liked Phantom Menace packaging. I liked, the Saga Blue Line from the Attack of the Clones era. I liked the Revenge of the Sith packaging. I liked 30th Anniversary was really good. There have been other packaging styles that I liked, but there's something about this specific packaging that pulls people in more. And right now we're at a time where we need to maximize as many sales as we can. And when you talk about, in the chat here, we've got Riley Bob and Commander Blind. I know they're joking. But if you could just pull up, their inventory, hashtag inventory. And, I know it's really easy. It's easy to laugh at people who only keep things in boxes, or they only buy things to go and get it graded to have a little sticker, in the corner. It's funny, and it's, but the point is, this is how these people collect, and they're helping us with their purchases. And so we shouldn't just disregard these people who are helping to keep the scale alive, because everybody matters. The openers matter, the carded collectors matter, the army builders matter. We're all keeping 375 alive here in the different ways that we collect. And it's important, to
What's up, Brandon?
It's like legs on a stool. You don't want to knock out one of the legs because then the stool falls over, right? And that's the line. So anyway, I'm
Do you mind if I
rambling? But
go ahead, Toys.
This is a question for you, Tommy, and there was a few things because I wanted to talk about real quick, like the callbacks to like old packaging, so like the Phantom Menace stuff, the Revenge of the Sith stuff, even like some of the Legacy Collection type of Clone Wars packaging. I love all that stuff, and those are things that I felt like I'm missing out not getting that because it wasn't being offered in 375.
Yeah.
So I'm always for those like specialty items that could be running alongside like the standard card back that I personally love as well. But my question for you is, you've mentioned that you're big into collecting carded clones, right?
Oh yeah.
That's like a
I have almost every carded TVC clone that's ever existed. I'm missing 3, and then I'll have all of them.
Nice. Okay, so my question to you,
because
I know a lot of...
Oh
yeah.
That doesn't count. Tamara Morrison clones, I should specify.
Okay.
So my question to you is, if for some crazy reason the line were to change packaging altogether, old styles out, would it annoy you to then collect a clone card that looked different from the lineup that you already built over several years?
No, because I also have, you can see them behind me, Clone Wars carded clones across the room. I have Legacy Collection carded clones. I have Saga Collection carded clones. For me, it's about the characters. I am a character first collector. So like a lot of figures, if they have issues, if they have low knees, if they have missing articulation points, I don't care ultimately. I'm going to critique it, and I'm going to be vocal about that, as I should, but I'm also... Ultimately, it's a Star Wars collection for me, so I want a wide breadth of characters. And the Clone Troopers I want as many different kinds of Clone Troopers as you can give me. I wanted to address one of Tyler's points that he made as well. The passing of the torch. I have been messaging with people this week. The passing of the torch, I say that analogy in relation to... We are in uncharted territory right now in the Star Wars collecting world, and that's something that I think we all acknowledge here, but I think that it's something that it's happening, and I think we're all just starting to realize that it's happening, so like the conversation up until this point hasn't even been really had. Okay, this is strange territory we're in where, again, I can speak to the data that we have, right? We have data you can't argue with data. Now, it is important to mention that you can interpret it different ways, but does that mean that the different ways are correct? And I think that's whether you're looking at fan polls or you're looking at other things as well. It is important, to look at the intention of why we did this poll, what the question asked was, right? Beside that, I do think that there are trends in collecting that I am seeing because my channel attracts younger collectors because I came from Black Series only to now I'm doing Black Series, and yes, that is partially where I'm going, because I attract a younger audience. I came from doing Black Series only to now Black Series to now it's a Hasbro Star Wars channel. I support and I cover most of what Hasbro puts out for the Star Wars brand. What I see, like, I have a cousin who's 18 years old. My brother is 15 years old. I have plenty of other collectors who are in high school, they're in college, they're, just starting their work careers at, 18, 19, 20 years old. They have walls of Phantom Menace 1999 carded figures and, Clone Wars carded and Legacy collection. That's not, up until now, I totally agree with everybody in the chat that, yeah, that's not really something people did. They didn't amass these collections sealed or loose of these other lines, these newer lines, especially the ones that like haven't retained their value the way that the original Kenner line has. But I'm starting to see
some of them out there. You'd be surprised. Some people have like Power of the Force 2, like Kenner, like the He-Man figures, and they have a whole wall of them. And like, those are
And
terrible
what I'm noticing,
figures, but more power to you, man.
I'm noticing it's starting to pop up more and more because people are, again, we're hitting that 20-year rule. It's something that's manifesting itself in the collecting world more and more. And so I definitely want to squash the bug of it's been getting talked about in the chat. The whole real money thing and like who has money to spend. That was true 5 years ago, but it is not true anymore because the thing was those people had the money. Those people that didn't have the money weren't old enough to 5 years ago. Now these people are they're looking to spend their money. So, and again, to this point too, this is something that's actively changing. It's not a lot. It's not this exponential, like, baby boom and collectors in the TVC line, but it is
the silver tsunami.
it is something that is actively changing. This whole year for my channel has been, as I've gotten into TVC, it's been nothing but people shooting me DMs, talking in live chats, talking in my Discord, saying, "Oh, dude, I pre-ordered this entire wave of TVC. Oh, dude, I backed a gunship. Oh, dude, I picked up that Ore set." Like that, and that's also interesting too because we talk about price and MSRP for TVC. Black Series collectors a lot of times are looking at TVC and going, that costs like $8 to $10 less than the figure that I'm buying in the 6-inch scale.
You want to know what I'm going to say is very important to that though too?
Yeah.
Is not only the quality of TVC figures, but the character selection, which
character selection is the biggest thing.
Tommy.
Yes.
Character selection has been exceptional recently, as well as the quality. It's something Tyler talked about a lot. This is the best 375 collecting that we've ever had.
You know what Evan, just to jump in before you make your point to Toy's point. I have never said this as much this year ever before, and my dad has said it. Like, my dad was someone who wasn't collecting for 15 years and jumped back in last year with the gunship. I talked to older collectors, younger collectors, people our age. It's wow, the TVC figure is just as good, and a lot of times this year it's been, wow, the TVC release of this character is better than the Black Series one, whether it's because of articulation or the paint apps or one thing or another. That's been happening. I look at the Remnant ATRT is a great example. Marok, 11th Brother. There's a couple other characters I could think of if I look back at my shelf here for a minute, but there's so many characters that have come out this year where Black Series and TVC got them, and people that collect Black Series are going, oh man, that TVC one's actually better. I'm actually going to pick that up. These are things that have never happened before the last 18 months. So it's something that I think we need to start having that conversation of how the landscape of the collecting world is changing. And so I just kind of want to, that's been my big shtick this week, has been squashing the bugs of, okay, maybe 5 years ago, this generation didn't have quote unquote real money. Well, now they do. Now they are established. The 20-year rule, we are established now. Same with the character selection. Okay, maybe they weren't picking up 2 of everything in 5 years ago. Character selection is, in my opinion, the best it's ever been this year. I love the balance of character selection this year across eras and media, and I've been really happy with it. So I just wanted to make those couple points that, yes, this is historically true. It is true right now, but things are actively, as Randall in Monsters, Inc. says, I'll say it again, the winds of change are happening as we speak. So I think it's important to have this speculative conversation. It's not even speculative. To have the conversation of the trends that are actively changing so that we can anticipate them instead of and be proactive instead of reactive. That's my pitch.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. That's
ahead,
where
Evan.
I was kind of going, and looking directly at this point from Brandon, and to follow up on what you were saying, Toys.
Yes.
Of, this, what you say here is how it skews. When does it become a self-fulfilling prophecy? Am I breaking up?
Can I get in on
No,
this?
you're
you're
fine.
good. You're good.
You're fine, Evan. I want to hear Evan.
Yeah. Go ahead, Evan. I'm sorry. I thought you were.
Can you not hear us now?
ahead.
Maybe he can't hear us now. I don't know.
Oh.
Jeez, he's gone. He'll be back.
All right, the gatekeepers doxed Evan. Who's next?
Sorry, I thought his sentence was done. My apologies.
No, I think he dropped out. Yeah.
Okay. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, you're good.
I just wanted to reply to what Brandon's saying here about sort of the demographics skewing older. And that kind of alludes to what I was saying earlier about the retention and about how 5 to 10 years from now, we might have a very different collecting community. But I think right now we still have a large chunk of the 3.75 inch community that cares very much about keeping the Kenner packaging, right? The Kenner style packaging.
Oh yeah.
And again, that's going to change over time. It is.
Mm-hmm.
It is going to change. But I think right now it's important to capitalize on, like Tommy, you were kind of alluding to this, like squeezing the last few pennies out of these guys before they leave, right? Well, kind of, yeah.
I mean, kind of a little bit.
We want to retain these guys for as long as we can because, if we go up to John, I don't know if you have control to be able to do this, but ARC 501st, if you scroll up a little bit, he starts with Tyler, I will disagree with you. Can you pull up that comment real quick?
I hate that
there's
ARC
a lot of
501st
comments.
guy. Let's get rid of him too. While we're
Was it after Brandon's comment? Let me find it.
No, above.
Oh my God.
Before.
Maybe if there
Anyway,
weren't so
what are you
many
trying to say
people
now?
dropping awesome chats, then we wouldn't have.
Yeah,
That's
chat, calm down.
I can't find it. What did he say,
Chill
Tyler?
out.
Do you see where I said hi, Brandon? It's highlighted. It's a comment right above that.
No. What were you gonna say? Let me.
Okay,
start
I'll just
talking.
read the comment. All right, I'll just read the comment. He said, Tyler, I will disagree with you. TVC does not have enough people, is keeping current collectors, not bringing in new ones. Mr. Stevie said it. Only way to get more is to grow the line. Right, but this is what I was talking about earlier, right? And that's that, like, by keeping this packaging, right, we are retaining people. We are recruiting people through smart character choice. And that's what Tommy's talking about, right?
Yes.
But changing the branding and the packaging, I don't see any evidence that that's going to magically bring in an influx of new collectors. Quite the opposite. I think we'll have a net loss of collectors, which is the opposite of what we're trying to do because we're trying to keep 375 alive, keep the line going. I just don't see any evidence of that changing the packaging is going to be beneficial right now. Again, could be a different conversation 5 to 10 years from now. I don't think we're there yet.
Yes.
Yeah, which is why
agree.
I think we all agree that dabbling and trying like chase cards or alternate cards, or I even think it would be cool to Scott Solo on Sarlacc Digest made these awesome mock-ups earlier this week. Like if they do these alt cards or chase cards that are like media specific, what if they kept the shape of the TVC card and then just did the alternate art that like also calls back to the 1999 packaging or the 2008 packaging, so that when you're like having them in storage, if you are somebody who keeps them in boxes or tubs, they still stack the same as TVC. So yeah, that was, but Evan, before I decided to ban you, I guess they decided to bring you back. So what was it? What profound statement were you about to make before?
You broke your own internet.
It's going to be so worth it. You guys probably already talked about it, but I think when saying, that vintage collection skews younger or skews older, Black Series skews younger, yada, yada. When does that become a self-fulfilling prophecy when all you hear from Hasbro is them telling you vintage collection is for older people, it's for the original trilogy stuff, Black Series is for younger generations, it's
for
where
everything.
you get the new stuff, for everything. If you keep saying that, you make it true, as opposed to
bias.
It's very much, try it out and start opening the gates to everybody, try to highlight,
And
as we try to do as collectors, and we try to encourage others to do, highlight the benefits, showcase the line, what it's capable of.
Yes.
We talk a lot about world building. World building means nothing without the figures to go in that world.
And this is why character choices too is so important, like getting you staying on top of new media and
staying relevant.
People
Current.
staying relevant with what's coming, because if you only feed that to the Black Series, then the people interested in this media are only going to collect Black Series, and that's not how you recruit new people.
Yes, correct.
It's the character again. It's the character choice.
Yes,
and
right.
To what you were saying, Evan, with like that self-fulfilling prophecy and like labeling, I want to kind of take it back to actually when we first kind of like collaborated with you, Tommy, when you were doing a lot of the LAC campaigns. And I remember we all came on there, and it was kind of like a joke of like, oh, here comes some TVC unks. And I was like, dude, I'm not an unk. I love Clone Wars. I love stuff that's not.
I'm young.
Unk. I'm young, dude. What are you talking about? I just love Star Wars, and I love this scale because it's something I grew up with, and I've just loved my entire life. But to what you were saying, I think it's important to also show the benefits of this line, not just that it's like an old scale or like a nostalgic thing. It's like, it's got world building. It's got a lot of stuff that's really fun for like your displaying and just being a Star Wars collector. You can have this giant gunship and like build out these things around it that you've been attached to since like ever since you saw the prequel trilogy or you dove into Clone Wars and that was your first thing.
And that's I think that Brandon's last message speaks to exactly what we're talking about experimenting and starting to
a two-parter
branch out a little bit on this.
It's a three-parter.
He says, for the record, there was a very specific, intentional, purposeful reasoning for a refresh in Black Series. I don't think TVC has the same reasoning for change. TVC represents the heritage scale, and Kinner is core to that heritage. Again, that said, the response to this year's SDCC set gives weight to a case that we should experiment where and when appropriate with different styles.
Yes.
Outside of mainline. Tyler is spot on. Character choice is key for OT, PT, new media, whatever it may be. We've seen that with the gunship and PT this year. We don't view TVC as the older line.
I love to hear that.
Thank you.
That's encouraging.
And it speaks to exactly what I specifically have been like talking about this past week, but we've been having these conversations about increasing the how we view the character selection. And again, I mean, you can't argue, you can make up like, justifications for it, but it can't be argued that multiple prequel trilogy releases this year pre-sold out on multiple websites. I mean, you had the Phase 1 Clone Commander and the Super Battle Droid, just to speak to two very recent ones that haven't even shown up in our hands yet, have pre-sold out on Big Bad Toy Store, Entertainment Earth, and Hasbro Pulse.
The whole wave.
That's not to be... Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, that's not something to be overlooked. Yeah, that's not something to be overlooked.
On Entertainment Earth, pre-sold out of Anakin, Padme, the whole Geonosis wave, pre-sold out on the first day. Day one.
Well, and what did I say an hour and 23 minutes ago? It's about the existence, expansion, and success. Yes. And while we say the heritage scale of Star Wars collecting, it's really just, John, you've called it the scale of record, just whatever. But it's not necessarily just because of the word heritage of it has to be beholden 100% to just the OT and what it's about. Expanding, growing, succeeding, bringing more people in. But we have talked about this topic, kind of dovetailed, but way too much. We do need to move on. I'm so sorry to keep this.
Let's reiterate yet again. We're done. They're not changing the packaging, and we have had many great reasons why they shouldn't. So let's all replay the last 8 hours of the stream. It's only been an hour and 23.
Yeah.
Breathe. Hold for 4. Exhale. They're not changing the packaging.
I think that Tyler and I should do a 6-hour back to lab marathon on packaging.
I would be excited.
I just want to say one last thing. Even if it's not the way that you collect and you don't really understand it and you think it's silly, it still matters. Their consumer purchases still matters to keeping 375 alive. That's how I want to.
There are a lot of things. I'll just, because Brandon's here, please, 20-year cycle. I know you're planning 2028. Let's get Clone Wars 20th, please, for the love of God. There's so many.
Let's move on. All right.
I'm just saying we need Pon Krell, Savage Opress. We need all these characters, Garsax, and we need all these things we've been asking for years. Also,
and we've been asking for years, and we have data for some of these things. So
yes, hey, what do you know? What a coincidence.
Yeah, let's talk about that.
Actually, I've made up my mind. If they don't do every Clone Trooper reveal it tomorrow that's ever been done, I quit. So
this all started because Steve had posed the question, about the packaging, and people have been talking about packaging. Steve also posted earlier today, or it's now maybe tomorrow for some of you. I don't know. The stream is great. He did post today. John, do you want to explain this a little bit?
Well, sure. It was about. Let's add this there. He did a rundown of the top 25 figures. He kind of combined most wanted. He combined data from March Madness and Last Figure Standing, at least a few years of each.
Brandon, we're on
real
it.
Quick. I know Tommy wants to emphasize Clone Wars here, so let's just super quick. Make your pitch. Oh.
Do you guys want to cover this first, and then we can?
Let's cover this first.
Yeah, let's cover this first.
Okay,
cool.
We will get back to that.
Buckle
Brandon,
up, Brandon.
I promise.
Stay tuned.
We are funneling into that because we are talking about figures we want most.
Yes.
So that
Beautiful.
So yes, and Evan, you can go to the next. But
Good call, though, Brandon, and thank you.
It was a mix of the last 4 years of results from 2 key fan community polls. The ranking combines original fan seeding and final tournament placement across both March Madness and Last Figure Standing, with organizers from each poll reviewing the final method and list to ensure fair representation. Tyler sent Steve some information that we helped collate as well.
Absolutely, the team effort. 100%.
We see all the green ones have been made, and this is going back a few years, and obviously there's a dozen ways to look at this. As we always say, there's the figures that appear year after year. There's the figures that are seeded. There are the figures that do well in the poll itself. But so he kind of took different snapshots of different things during his week off, because much like us in his free time, he's still thinking about this stuff.
Work is never over.
Luthen Rail was at the top in the previous one, but we see characters like C-3PO, Wrecker, Pon Krell still awaiting their spot in the line. Mara Jade, the winner a couple years ago, Clea Markey, Tech, and Saw Gerrera. A lot of, still, as we said before, a lot of Andor and Rogue One characters people are still looking for. We finally finished the main Rogue One crew this year. It would be great to finish some of those other crews over the next few years. The Bad Batch, again, they were introduced in the Clone Wars 20th anniversary. Hello, they were introduced in the final season of the Clone Wars, and they were, also Simalu was number 26. I didn't even see it. My sweet boy, sweet Simalu,
so funny.
26. Beautiful.
Oh God. That's hilarious.
Yeah.
So funny.
Yes.
Steve, that's great.
If Evan, you can go over this part, Evan, if you like.
Yeah. So, the 68%, of the capture rate, I think that's not bad. I know I commented on Steve's post of, it's really encouraging to see where the fan and the community priorities, do overlap relatively frequently. Of course, not as much as we'd like all the time, 100% of the time, but overlap with what Hasbro's priorities are, what, they're kind of thinking. So that's really nice. It's these focused polls. It feels great to be able to, 6 years ago when I pitched this idea to you guys of doing this, did I ever think we'd be sitting here talking about it, about a post that we've helped, collate information for the guy at the brand team for Star Wars, and, another member of the brand team, Brandon, sitting here watching us talk about it. No, I would have never thought that in my wildest dreams. This is crazy. So again, I hope that really does lead folks to think this is important to make your voices heard when it comes to sort of events. Not that they're beholden to make these things, of course, say that, but it does really help, maybe provide ideas, or if there is even any doubt for Hasbro thinking about something, it can help maybe move the needle just a little bit in the direction to get to where the community average, the community priorities tend to lie. Hashtag bring us the Bad Batch in 2028.
Yes.
Finish the 99, brother.
Yes.
Finish 99.
If I can say, If I can say a few things on this, as I spend more time with this data than anybody else.
The brain power behind it.
Maybe Tanith, thank you for looking over it after the fact.
John, don't you guys use a computer algorithm for this stuff?
Oh my God, my computer algorithm it's right here. My algorithm is right
between his ears.
Yeah,
inside the mustache.
He's the human version of Hugh Yang. Come on.
So over the years, I have appreciated, these things come up in the fan polls again, whether or not because they're already in the works or because, we help say, hey, look at this stuff over here. But we need to, credit where credit is due. They have done a lot of things we've requested over the years of these fan polls. They did the A New Hope heroes after those rose to the top. They did the Rebels crew when those came to the top. We still have some more to go on that. But people were asking for prequel stuff, and we're getting a lot of, Attack of the Clones stuff this year. People are asking for CSC. Thank you, Brandon. The weeks before SDCC, when Chris and I were starting planning on 2028, we had slides up with the prior March Madness, last figure standing results to help guide our choices. So your voices in the room. Thank you, Brandon.
Let's make 2027 March Madness bigger than ever. Everybody vote.
I just want to say,
wait. Let me
real quick.
Yeah.
Somebody screenshot this so we can plaster it all over social media so that every time somebody says the brand team isn't watching, they don't pay attention, Hasbro doesn't care, all of this is for nothing, I don't bother to vote. Any of those comments that you see year after year, they're in the chat watching and talking about this right now. So it's so important.
This is an AI account.
I cannot stress enough how important it is to participate and be part of this data gathering exercise. Again, they're not obligated or beholden to make this stuff, but very clearly progress has been made over the years.
And
as
Steve said in his post, and they've said before, there are many other factors at play for all this stuff when deciding. So they're not just going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. It would be great if they did, but so again, but as these trends have come out, this past year, the Bad Batch did really well, of course, on the polls. Luthen and other Rogue One and Andor characters have done really well. I think it would be smart to do more of those. And then Clone Wars characters that always overperform, like the Jedi Temple Guard, Savage Press, Pong Krell won a couple years ago. Would be great to get some of those key characters in 2028 as part of a Clone Wars 20th celebration, alongside a dozen. I'm sorry for only saying a dozen clone repaints, 1 million clone repaints, please. 200,000 with 1 million more well on the way. Clone repaints, every clone in every phase. But
I thought people don't watch the cartoons.
Yeah,
no one likes cartoons.
But that would be a great way to turn the head of some of these younger fans who are more into Black Series, who are already invested in buying Hasbro Star Wars action figures, but maybe say, hey, come on over. We can provide more vehicles, more playsets, more world building more army building opportunities in TVC. I think that
more vehicles and world building.
Yes.
This thing that I've recently picked up, and people are losing their minds over the photos and just this thing that is amazing. And a lot
from
of
the Halcyon days when they would make everything, every vehicle,
everything
every background thing. So that more than any packaging change, I think would turn the heads of people who are already the most likely to buy this stuff. In my
hats
opinion.
off. Go ahead, Evan.
Well, I was just going to say, of the things to look at too, Brandon asking for that, we have the list, and Steve said he was going to do another version, omitting the ones that they've already made to, see what's unmade on what cream rose to the top here. But I also think it's very important, and we have it pinned on the SWTVC profile. It's very important as well to look at the ones that are the 6-timers that people have been asking for the better part of a decade, over and over and over again, making the tournament of the top 64 of hundreds to thousands of characters. That's also a very important data set to look at. So we're here to help provide as many ways to look at all this data as we possibly can.
Sister.
Yes.
Excuse me.
So
sorry.
Again,
I said it in my throat there.
John, you had mentioned, there's a lot of ways to look at it, and there's very much, things to consider. But yeah, that's why we're doing all this stuff. There's a lot of different ways to pay attention to these things. So we appreciate knowing that it's not necessarily all in vain, and we're only screaming into a little bit of a void, not an entire void.
I did just want to say hats off to the SWTVC guys. Not to glaze. I know you guys are paying me to be on the stream and all, but
You guys are getting paid?
yeah, me and Toys, our royalty checks are coming in. But no, you guys, I mean, you guys are the Star Wars action figure fan pool. Like, I mean, it's everyone else. I mean, even I run 3 Star Wars fan polls now for Star Wars action figures throughout the year. 2 for Black Series, 1 for TVC. You guys were the mentors for how to put the data together, how to you guys were the people that I went to on how to successfully run a fan pool. So I mean, hats off to you guys, the insane amount of work that you guys put in, whether it's screaming into the void or screaming into comment sections or screaming at me in a group chat. I do really, really appreciate the work that you guys have put into the TVC community. And even something as simple as the top 25s, it's just so fun. Like I love, I get my list, I get to sit there and Photoshop and make my list, and my dad will send me his 25 and I get to make his list and send it to him, and we just get to sit there and go, what's the most important things that I want for my collection? And it's just so fun. It's such a community building experience where everybody, that's the thing is, not to get long-winded, I never get long-winded, but it's just a point where the TVC community should be, everyone sits around the campfire and contributes to keeping the flame alive, rather than us trying to, again, like Tyler said, wrestling the torch away from each other. It should be, we're all sharing the space and we're all sitting down at the table, and that and a fan poll like that, where you see such a nice blend, and even in that top 25, such a that Stevie showed, such a nice blend of eras, movies, shows, new media, old media. Everything is so nicely blended, and it's indicative that you guys are not just picking up one demographic of the collecting community when you guys are putting together this poll. So hats off to you guys.
Well,
I want to glaze our team real quick as well, but real quick, I want to get back to Brandon's fun fact. Absolutely.
Let's hear that fun fact.
Talk about,
fun fact.
Well, yeah, let's go ahead, Brandon. But I just wanted to say, I'm not the person doing the heavy lifting in terms of the data scrubbing. And guys, I just want to, we don't usually publish this stuff, but when you guys submit your lists, and it's approximately 1,500 individual lists or whatever it is, or your 1,200, whatever it is, this gets fed from the Google forms, right? What's it called? The Google forms. So it gets put into a big Excel spreadsheet. Anybody who's worked in an office with Excel, you know what I'm talking about, right? Guys, this spreadsheet is like 28,000 individual cells of data. I just want to let that hang in the air for a second. 28,000 squares that this man with a mustache has to look through.
He reads
to
it
make
all.
sure
I see
that
it
all
all.
the data is cleaned, and that there's not 50 different ways of saying, Palpatine in red robes. Well, which Palpatine in red robes? Let's look at the rest of his list and see what he's talking about. Oh, he's got Agent in there. He's got Stacey in there. Oh, he's probably talking about the Jedi arrest one and not the one where he announces the birth of the Empire. This is the kind of deep dive that he is doing. I gotta glaze the crap out of John right now.
Thank you,
okay?
thank you, Thomas.
Because that is a
We'd be nothing without
long thing. I'm gonna get to you, Evan. Don't you wait. You just wait your turn, sir. Okay. But I just want to say, it is a month-long exercise. The entire month of February, John takes to go through this insane amount of data.
Happy Valentine's Day to your wife, John.
And I just want everybody. There's 3 people right now.
Freaking the spreadsheets.
There's 3 entities that I wanna glaze right now. We got Johnny Mustache out of the way. The second one is Evan with his, and actually both of you do incredible graphics work. But Evan does all of the sexy sizzle reels at the beginning of the of the live streams and after the fact. A lot of times it's Evan doing, not every time, you guys work together, but the graphics work and the professional aspect of March Madness comes from both of them. But I do want to credit Evan specifically here because I gave Mustache his dues, right? So I'm very impressed I know it's my own team and my own guys, but I got to say, I'm very impressed with the professionalism and how smooth and just immaculate you guys run this poll every year. And then the third people I want to glaze is just the community, right? Because it's not just our time and our effort and our labor scrubbing that data, and it definitely is that, right? And the sharing and the posts and all that stuff, right? But it's also the community putting in their time to make their lists, to make their images, to share, to grab their friends and encourage them and say, hey man, you should vote because this does matter. And Hasbro is paying attention to your voice, right? Like the amount of effort that goes into this from everybody every year. It's not just our team, it's the whole community putting their time and effort into this. And so, it's not a small thing. And so I appreciate that Hasbro takes the data seriously because we don't manipulate it. It's all real, even if it doesn't go our way. I mean, we watch as we every year as the tournament plays out, we watch our favorite characters and our racehorses drop out and die.
Yeah.
Right?
There's 50-50 matches.
They get
I swear.
exhausted.
Yeah.
As the laps go, the horses just die, right? On the track. They get passed by other horses, right? And and it's like, second sister bit the dust or whatever, and it makes me sad. But hey, you know what? That's data. That's the community. It's not about how I want it to go. It's about how the community wants it to go.
If I could say one thing about like the community when it comes to you guys, because like I've said this to you guys time and time again. I can't appreciate you guys more than like I can't even like find words to express everything that I want to say in terms of like what you've done for like the community in general with like March Madness. Because like I was just never like a social media person really, but I always wanted to see more Star Wars toys. And then I started seeing you guys online and you were doing the first March Madnesses. And the one thing that always struck me with it was it just was fun and inviting for everyone. And it was kind of like, hey, we all love Star Wars and we all love to daydream about other things that we still want too, characters and whatever. Look at this fun way we're all going to interact with each other and make it like an event. And like the data, of course, is like so important, but like that community of like whether you were somebody who loves OT stuff or you love Clone Wars stuff or you love both of those things or you love the new media, here's your place to all come together, expanded universe, talk about it, have like a fun competition with it. It's not like bad blood, but like let's see this competitive race to the top of who is going to be the community top pick. And I got to give Evan that really was phenomenal.
Credit for being the brainchild of this whole thing, and the format allows for that sort of diversity of characters, being 64 characters that go into the tournament. It allows for a broad sweep of different interests, and I think it captures kind of everybody's interests really well. But let's go back to Brandon's fun fact and also our one for 28.
You didn't
Did he
share
drop
it yet.
it?
Not yet.
No, he hasn't had it yet.
Okay, I don't think
he was waiting for us to stop, glazing each other, and then.
So I'm sorry, Brandon.
Thank you guys. Yes.
Thank you guys for the kind words.
Sorry.
I genuinely appreciate it, and I just want to like put a button on that in terms of when I had even thought of it, when I came to you guys about it, when we started doing it. Other than the obvious goal of let's get these son of bitches made of all these figures, we want it all. The other driving goal behind it was very much what you said, Toys, very much what you said, Blitz, of having fun with it. And, if you're not having fun, what's the point? We very much, sometimes I think it's easy to lose sight of, we're not getting everything we want. We're not getting
100%.
this, but, if the minute it stops being fun is the minute that it is actually something you should stop to think about. So the goal here was to just keep that fun going so that we can have fun together. We can have fun engaging with our collections, thinking about what we want of what we already have, engaging with Star Wars as it comes in, revisiting old media, enjoying new media, whatever. And, the added benefit of just getting to be like, oh, hey, and then maybe Hasbro will see some of these wish lists and think, oh, that might be worth making. So that's the whole thing. Absolutely. I appreciate the hell out of all of you guys for all of the work that you guys do. John, again, as Toys was saying, no words. I have no words for John other than, maybe I'll just send you a check for like $100 every now and again. Just like, will that make you feel better?
Free case of figures.
Hush money. There you go.
half the case these days. But anyway,
yeah. But yeah,
Brandon,
let's
go ahead with your fun fact, bud. Sorry for making you wait.
if we didn't
so
scare
long.
him off.
Yeah, I think
probably
he fell
did fall
asleep, as
asleep.
people said.
Sorry.
but-
Yeah,
Obviously,
but
I was
we'll circle
blabbering
back
on.
to him. But let's move on. We still have
real quick. Let's
the
talk
meat of the
about
thing.
28 wants. 28 wants.
2028.
Yeah.
28 wants. Go ahead,
gave
Tommy.
my-
I know you want to spearhead this, so
John, go ahead.
Like I said already, I think that's the good time for Clone Wars, 20th anniversary of the Filoni series and 25th of the Tartakovsky series. Sometimes we don't always get the anniversaries that we want, but
Yeah.
maybe I don't know if there's going to be a movie. I don't know if there's going to be a TV show. Nothing seems to be in active production at the moment, so it would be similar to how we're catching up with filling in some of the HasLab world building. Would be nice to fill in some other, older things as well that we're still waiting for, of course. Brandon, you said it got missed in the chat earlier. I still don't see that fun fact.
I didn't see it either.
I didn't see it either. Let's give Brandon our full attention for a second here.
Yeah,
Well-
I don't see it back in the chat there.
Yeah, I don't either.
But Tanith has the right answer. Kitstern-Wald and Simalu for 28, of course. is
Well,
the right answer.
I think
That's a hell of a
you've
fact.
got the Clone Wars anniversaries, both Clone War anniversaries hitting next year. But I think what 28 really needs to be, especially if new media is light, is a year of consolidation and catch up. Not catch up that you put on, your burgers or whatnot, but
I mean,
or
I'm
hot
cool with
dogs
that
if you're into
too.
that kind of thing.
The
Catching
things that
up.
they missed, the big
Right.
holes, completing
Yes.
the teams and themes.
Did it show?
Fun fact did not show.
No. It's fun
That's
fact did
weird.
not show.
If you're, I don't know. Sometimes they're weird if you like put a certain link, like a link or a word, like a keyword or something. They'll.
Yeah, try a different way, Brandon. Sorry. But what I'm saying is, I think it's an opportunity to try to catch up on things we've been hammering for years and years,
Yeah.
like Bad Batch. And I get it, like Bad Batch. We've got Tech, Echo, Wrecker, Omega to make. That's 4, right?
Yep.
We're looking at probably around a dozen all new tools every year. Can you release the entire Bad Batch remaining team in 1 year and suck up a third of the annual new tooling budget for one team? Probably not. But you should at least be looking at releasing, I think, at least one team member a year.
I'd be cool with that.
You've got to get started on
Yeah.
you got to
And
get
commit
started
to
on
it
getting
and
those
say
things
that.
out.
Yes.
that's what
Commit
you're
to it.
doing.
Yeah.
Right. But I think like, they're talking about next year, maybe not having video game characters, and because they're going to focus on HasLab support. And I get it. That's
That's
okay.
cool.
But I think, once we get past 27 and the 50th support and the
There we go.
HasLab support.
And that's a fun fact.
see.
Brandon says you will
Yeah.
see
One
at
of those
least one of
characters.
those characters revealed by the end of the year.
Okay, and those
Excellent.
being the ones probably from Steve's list, I imagine.
Yes.
Yes.
Great to hear it. Great to hear it, Brandon.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Does that include
Yeah, but I was just
Simalu?
gonna
It's
say-
got to be Simalu.
It's gotta be Simalu.
26, yeah.
Sweet
Um,
Simalu.
That's about the most fun fact I could have hoped for. So thank you.
So what I was saying is that as video game characters kind of take or publishing characters or whatever take a expanded universe, take a back seat next year. 2028 is the opportunity to come back to characters like Mara, who may not be coming out next year because she doesn't necessarily blend in with any of the the HasLab support focuses, right? So like that would be the time, and that'll be 3 years later since she won. I think that's kind of long enough for people to wait for a champion. Ideally, try to knock those out as quickly as you can. But
Well, and so, and if there's anything missed in the celebration of the saga from 2028 or 2027, it's like if there's anything that maybe couldn't fit the bill for 2027, but still celebrate someone that may have been left out or something that may not have, been able to squeeze in there, that also would be a good time to just kind of, include folks and be like, let's try to hit as many things as possible meaningfully and where it makes sense.
But looking at Steve's list here, right? The ones in red, I don't know if you're able to bring those back up again, right?
Well, he said he was looking at
Brandon's
the
No, I know.
multiple
I know.
timers one. Yeah.
No, I'm tracking. But I'm talking about for 28, right?
Yeah.
When we're looking at what the focus for 28 should be, I think it's on these red characters, right? It's on Luthen, it's on Mara, it's on Pong Krell, it's on Saw Gerrera, and it's on at least one of the Bad Batch. I mean, this is what the community is like really hammering on
It would be great if we got
over and over again.
Tech as a mainline figure and Wrecker as a deluxe figure right at the same time. That would
Play
be
it
a
too,
dream.
Yeah, that'd be really cool.
That'd be great.
That'd be really
That'd
cool.
be greatly
Then
appreciated.
you get your
not
season
though.
7 crew, Clone Wars season 7 crew done.
Yeah.
Oh, 3PO too.
Yep.
Of course. Sorry.
So I kind of want to build on what Tyler was saying, because to alleviate me spending the next 5.5 hours talking about Clone Wars wants for 28, I did, it wasn't my last Blitz Barracks stream, but the one I did before that, I did a wish list, and I posted it to my Instagram as well. I did a bunch of half-ass slides on. So we have now kicked out every single one of the SWTVC members on the stream at least.
We're
once
taking
now.
over this
Yeah.
stream.
We got
It's
Evan,
good.
we got
Yeah.
Tyler, and now we got John. Now,
There we go.
all right. Anyway, so
I'm still here. Sorry, you're stuck with me now.
everyone
Good
hates
show,
Clone Wars.
guys.
So I did a slideshow, did a ton of like examples of stuff I would want to see from the 03 Clone Wars and the 2008 Clone Wars. Obviously, my first big want is obviously Clone Troopers. I've done entire videos on my channel talking about these guys. Shout out Conrad Pad on Instagram for making me one of my favorite clones, Denal Custom.
Yeah.
Really appreciate you, brother. And color matching it to the Phase 1 501st Trooper. That is awesome. But the Clone Troopers and the Battle Droids, like doing those easy repaints and multi-packs and in like exclusive sets and stuff like that, it's just so easy. It's an easy way to get a new character out into the line, and the only thing that you're spending money on is paint apps as opposed to your tooling budget. And then you can apply that tooling budget other places. Something that I talked about it on that live stream, and I want to talk about it more here, is there are a lot of ways to include everybody, like all generations of collectors, in the 20th and 25th anniversaries through smart choices in what characters you choose for the anniversaries. So a couple examples I can think of, and Toys and I have talked about this one. One is Bosk. I think that Bosk is a character that shows up in the same outfit in the Clone Wars. He has voice lines. You see him get to you actually see him in action in the Clone Wars. And it also appeals, obviously. I think Tim would explode if he saw TVC get a new Bosk. And I think that is a great way to bring in original trilogy fans, and it's still something that fits in the Clone Wars era. Similarly, there are things from the 03 Clone Wars that would be awesome too. We already have Moma Nedan in the vintage collection. You know what's a great way to reuse some of that tooling is putting him in Roran Karab from 03 Clone Wars, which is just Moma Nedan in Jedi robes. And the same can be done the opposite way. Clone Wars card. Yeah, if I wasn't canceled already, I will be now. Another one would be Roran's partner in crime, Fal Modama, who is literally just Muftak in Jedi robes. So if you take the time to tool that and make it a deluxe figure, guess what? Now the following year or the year after, you could put out Muftak, and the tooling has already been done for that character. There are so many, and Volvith Mon is another Clone Wars Jedi who is Lax Sivrak, right? Is that one? It's not Arleal Shus, it's Lax Sivrak. No. And there's so many different ways that you can play with the tooling and play with the character selections that you do for that anniversary that will help to serve the line in future years. I would like to believe, based on what I've seen at SDCC, Chris talking a lot about the Amani Guard and why that particularly was chosen this year and why that could mean something later down the road for, obviously, a Man-a-Man. I think that same logic applied in 2028 would be really, really cool. Again, characters like Bosk, who is the same exact character in the same exact outfit in the Clone Wars era that also appeals to original trilogy fans. Same with Roran Karab, Muftak, Volvith Mon. There's so many. And then obviously the easy ones, the ones that don't chew up any of your tooling budget, Clone Troopers, Battle Droids, and then characters that are super easy to do. We've already got Clone Wars Anakin. That's already one ticked off the list. We can get maybe an updated Clone Wars Obi-Wan. They've got these awesome new torsos that you just put overlays on instead of like having to tool an entirely new torso. It'd be a great way to, I mean, hey, you put out Sacy Tin in the 08 Clone Wars with the gauntlets, or you could make Battle of Munilist Obi-Wan, and then that same look is transferred over to 03 Clone Wars Sacy Tin. So much, if you look at the designs of the shows, they literally would reuse assets
Oh, yeah,
all
they love
throughout
to
the Clone
reuse.
Wars shows and reuse animation looks all throughout those shows. So like I would love to see a 2-pack of 03 Clone Wars Anakin and Obi-Wan from Volume 2 where they have the capes and they have the super cool outfits.
Yeah.
I would also
Yes.
love to see a 2-pack. Now, obviously, I got to get up the last thing I'm going to get on my pedestal on. Obviously, the ATTE would be a big want for me. I know that might not be realistic, but I'm a dreamer, so I'm going to dream and say that a great centerpiece, because it was a huge centerpiece of the marketing for the Clone Wars movie in 2008, would be the ATTE. I personally would even be fine with just some minor tweaks made to the original 2008 release, like fixing those middle legs and giving it a more accurate, less toy-like main turret, and just putting it back out. I would love to see my main man Dirge. I think that's my big one for 2028. He is such a great character for 03 Clone Wars, and that for the most part that thing still holds up today. I mean,
It's really good.
it really
And
does.
you know what's actually interesting is like you could keep
It's a
the
little
base.
dusty, but
You could keep the base of the body because a lot of those top parts are like panels, so you
Yeah.
technically could retool those to have a little bit more detail on them and just slap that together, and already that would take that to another level.
But yeah, that's
Can I-
my
can
that's
I
my
just jump
that's
in
my
real
big
quick?
pitch. Yeah, I was just saying that's my big pitch. Is there's a really easy way to marry tooling that we already have and making new characters with existing tooling, and even a ton of characters that, thanks to a lot of the new characters we've gotten this year and a couple years ago, we have a lot of the pieces. So maybe it's only new forearms, or maybe it's only new lower legs. And I think that there's a great way to also look at the Clone Wars beyond just the Republic versus the Separatists, because there's so much scum and villainy in the Clone Wars era. Between the comics and everything else, there's so much you can play around with that appeals to not just Clone Wars fans, but also to original trilogy fans, to expanded universe fans. It's like the perfect sandbox for 2028, and it's a double anniversary for the year too. So that's my. I'll shut up because I could literally talk about this forever. So
Can I have two ideas that piggyback on those real quick?
Yes,
Yeah.
please.
go ahead.
Because
Jeff.
Chris Reif mentioned the IG Lancer droid from the
Yes.
03
Yep.
miniseries, and that would be a way. I don't know how much they can reuse from. They did that as based on the IG 88 in the Legacy collection.
I have
but
it
if-
over here. Yeah.
And it was a great figure, but I don't know how much they could use from IG 11 and 12, or if they did a new one that was more accurate to IG 88, they could then finally get IG 88 in the line as
The
well.
only-
from
And
Empire
they
Strikes
can
Back.
cost it out with clone armor Obi-Wan. All that needs is
There you go.
a new front of the torso with
And
a
we already
way
had-
to affix, and the belt.
The
And
only
various
things they
speeder
would
bikes.
need for IG-11, or the only new parts they would need, would be the arms, because they have those
The
pointy
shoulders.
shoulders,
Yeah,
and then
yeah.
a different
Well-
head because they have a pointier head.
I just mean because
Yeah.
because IG 11 is not the exact same as IG 88, so I don't know how much
True that.
of
true
that needs to be done. But and then also looking at some of the March Madness stuff, it was great that we got Plo Koon. We can get Plo Koon in his damn skirt from Clone Wars now, so people can shut the hell up about that. But Shock T and Plo Koon were two that had been on March Madness for several years, and we got those this year. But we're still waiting on Ki-Adi Mundi.
That may as well. Yeah.
He's
So
another
now-
one that his costume is exactly the same.
Yep, in
Yep.
Clone Wars and the Pools.
And then
Mace Windu would be nice for a
Yes,
couple
it's got
different
the
looks.
gauntlets,
Yeah.
but yes,
With the
multiple
gauntlets,
versions.
yeah.
Multiple versions.
Yep.
But this
So
is
yes.
what I was gonna say.
And Tanith,
Go
real quick,
ahead,
let me
Jeff.
put a button. I'm not a fake fan. I know IG-11 and IG-88 are completely different.
Yes,
What I'm
yeah.
saying is, if we do the IG Lancer droid, then that could be a gateway to a new IG-88, an accurate IG-88
Yes.
for the finish the 96. If we do Bosk as well, since I think that's a great idea.
Yeah.
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 Okay.
I want to back up both of you and say, I think Bosk is a particularly good shout, Tommy,
Oh, yeah.
because like you're saying, it appeals to the Clone Wars fans, where he obviously got a lot more action. It also appeals to video game fans because he's a hero in Battlefront.
Yes, he is.
2?
Battlefront 2.
Not-
Yep.
Battlefront 2. Lots of people love playing as Bosk and his Dioxis, right? Like,
Yeah,
people love Bosk, and obviously the OT guys love Bosk too because he, stood there and growled, and he was really cool back in the day. No, I'm just kidding. He's one of the 96, right? So
Yeah.
that is a release, and also he unlocks Boshek and Yellow Spaceman.
Yellow Spaceman
with
number
his
2,
tool-
don't
with
forget.
his tooling.
Iconic.
I get it. It's not for
But it is
what
more
what I'm
for the
saying is-
cantina.
It is more
it's
for the
smart.
cantina.
It's smart.
it's
We
a
knock it,
very-
but it's not knocking it, but it's smart.
I think Bosk in particular is a very good shout for those reasons. And then you talk about 2 different Obi-Wans, right, for Clone Wars. You talk about Clone Wars, Tartakovsky Clone Wars. Most of his body is just the clone body, right? And then you add like the big clasps for his cape on his chest piece, right? And obviously you got to make a special helmet because he wears
he just wears a regular
Cody style visor, right? Well, and in the first season, but then the second season he wore he had like a visor, didn't he? Or am I imagining?
No, they only did that for the toy releases for some reason.
Okay,
I don't know why. Even the recent Hot Toy gave him the visor. Yeah.
Okay, sorry, I got that wrong. I'm sorry.
Fake
I'm
fan.
Fake fan. But then, so you have Obi-Wan with mostly a clone body, so that's like barely a retool, right? And you give him probably his episode 2 head that you just came out with, right?
Yes.
And then that you put out a retool of his Clone Wars look, and you could do the armor on the shoulders or not, and just the bracers on the wrists, and that's your opportunity to fix those Revenge of the Sith style legs with, like we were talking about earlier, a new character, a new figure. It's not exactly the same exact figure, but it gives you an opportunity to fix those legs and get that tooling out there, right? So it's 2 different Obi-Wans with minimal work, minimal tooling. These are the kinds of smart retools that you can do to celebrate it without a huge tooling investment. Anyway, I'm going to
for more on that. Visit Looney Tunes on SWTVC for Obi-Wan. Okay, we do need to move on. The only last thing I'll throw on is for 2028. I don't want to get to 2029 and celebrate a 10th year without a Supreme Leader Kylo Ren. Bring me Ben Solo somehow.
Fair enough. Make it happen.
That's the last thing I'll say there. I don't want to talk too long about this next topic because we haven't even gotten to like the reveals and stuff.
There were reveals.
Yeah,
I know we got a
we were going to talk about like the entirety of the second half of the year, but we'll see what happens.
Yeah, we'll see. So anyway, no HasLab in 2026. I think that's become obvious at this point. It's August, but we saw, John, you have notes in here, but we saw some really great posters from Great White North Empire. I am so in love with these posters. I need prints of these so bad. These are incredible.
He's awesome.
Yes. So as they said, we won't get a giant new item this year to build the world around. However, we will get those gunships that we ordered last year. But yeah, as they mentioned, 2027 will have a focus, at least to some extent, on supporting the 5 previous HasLabs in these great, wonderful artwork posters. Brandon did tease a carded, I think a 3-pack to support the Ghost. Should be revealed soon, hopefully, because I think he said it'd be early next year. September, I see you say in the notes. Obviously, we just did a lot of wish lists. We can run down wish lists all day. Everything for 2027 is presumably planned at this point if they're planning 2028.
Yeah.
So let's not even worry about it. I want everything that goes with these guys. We've done posts on this before in the past. But how do you feel about this generally? I'm asking myself first because I'm going to answer first. But obviously, I want it all, and I always want to expand the line in a million new directions. But I'm also very grateful to, as you said, catch up, consolidate, be able to take a beat, take a breath, pause, fill out displays and teams that I've already started. I want more for the Cantina. I want more for the Barge. I want more for the Ghost and the Razor Crest and the Gunship as well. So, we have these big, giant centerpieces. Let's have other pieces around the center. Let's go. We have a lot, but there's always, missing stuff. So I find that an interesting approach next year. That's more on the retain side of things than recruit, perhaps. But it is very nice.
Very exciting.
Don't let us stop you, Brandon. Go ahead and hop on and show us right now.
I don't want you to die. I want you to live. Let's see it.
I'm hoping season 1 Grief Cargo.
My only comments on the HasLab support is like, what a great way to support all the different generations of fans, both, collectors that have been around for a while and the new collectors coming in as well. Because guess what? We have HasLabs from all the different eras. So it's not even, we have new media, we have original trilogy, prequels. So it's awesome. And that's pretty much all I have to say on that. I think it's great.
Yep.
So,
and as George and Steven once said, it's going to be great. It's going to be great.
It's going to be great.
It's going to be great. It's going to be great.
I do want to see the Arlyle Doctrine, which I'm going to call it, get continued. And I would like to see Egan and Stacey, pop out somehow. Need them.
Yes.
Because again, that's a lot of reuse potential. We talked about that. Don't need to say any more about that. So. Let's move on then. Let's talk about reveals, dude. Why we are over 2 hours into this, and we haven't even talked about the hottest thing that anyone has ever seen. John, tee us up.
Oh, boy.
Yes, so he said the first half of the year is out. We just got a lot of stuff hitting, as we talked about. The first half of the year is still a little quieter than the second half. A ton of stuff always seemingly hitting all around the same time, September-ish. So move your finances around, buckle up. We currently have 3 waves on pre-order. They'll all probably hit the exact same time as Tyler calls
the old
it.
September slam. Yeah.
Prepare yourselves.
So let's, we've had some darkness, we've had some light. Well, let's brighten the mood with what's brighter than some retro Kenner colors. Everybody's favorite reveal, right? Oh, wait a minute.
Tommy's gone. Let's not linger too long on this one. Toys, Tommy, and myself have all talked at length about it, but we all got to take a. I want to take a Tyler. I'm going to take a Tyler sigh right now.
Yeah. I do want to say one thing though, that Tommy and his dad, Blitz, Commander Blitz 327, had a great stream the other day. Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Okay. Really great stream the other day that I really enjoyed, but there was one particular point that I wanted to pull out, and thank you, Brandon. That's very, very good. I still have some things to say, despite that, but I'll try to be nice. But Tommy and his dad were streaming the other day. By the way, your dad's freaking hilarious, man. Oh my God. It must be the Marine in him, but he's very, very funny. But raw. But anyway, he said a very poignant point though, in all seriousness, and that was the brand team members, they want to sell us stuff, right? So they're not trying to make us mad. They're not trying to insult us if they get it wrong or they misstep, right? And they're human. Occasionally they're going to make mistakes. Sorry guys, you do make mistakes sometimes. The X-Wing is a mistake, and we're going to get to that. But anyway,
we're in it.
There's a phrase that goes around the community. It's a slap in the face. It's a slap in the face to collectors, right? I really have to emphasize that because it's like, oh God.
It's my favorite quote to make fun of.
I know, but his father, Commander Blythe 327, he said, it's bless your heart. Okay. And the point behind what I'm trying to say and what they're trying to say is that these guys, sometimes what they think is a great idea maybe isn't a great idea. But that doesn't mean that when they were conceptualizing this stuff, they were trying to stick it to us. Like, they have jobs. They're doing a job role for a company that is intended to make money and profit. So they're not trying to put out releases that we are going to throw tomatoes at them for. Like, that's not the intent. The intent is actually to make us happy and sell us things. And that's why there's an incentive for them to make stuff from the March Madness list. Just saying, because it makes everybody happy. It makes you money, and it makes us, we get our collectibles. But anyway, the intent here was not to insult us with this. That being said, I do have to say there is the retro collection and there is the vintage collection. Vintage collection is Kenner inspired. It salutes the original, heritage Kenner line, but it is not the retro collection. These lines are two different things. They don't mix. They don't touch. And I think this is a very confused release. I'm sorry to say. And Evan, I think you should have the polling graph of the animated colors that we did a few years ago. Can you pull that up, please?
I didn't include it. We looked at, I forgot, and also we've looked at enough graphs.
This was a critical one.
The response to this was not exactly subtle. I think everybody knows.
It was
what I'm trying to say, there's a graph that we put up just the other day. We reposted it. It was from a poll that we did with John Miko of the Facebook group and also Tim from Bosk's Bounty, right? And the point of doing this multi-platform poll where almost, I think, 3,000 people voted, lots of participation back then. But
yes,
the point of doing a multi-platform poll was so that people couldn't say, well, yes, but the Facebook demographic is older, so they have different consumer habits than the Utes on Instagram or right. So we did a multi-platform poll, and it was across the board, approximately 80% of the community. I think it was like 79%. So we're going to round it up, and we're going to call it 80% of the community basically said what TVC is and what TVC should be is realistic interpretations. And that it was talking about animated stuff, but this also applies to Kenner stuff, comic book Marvel colors, right? What people want in the vintage collection is stuff which adds to our world. It's in universe stuff. And so we've talked about all the different opportunities. If they had to put out a vehicle that's a repaint, there's tons of different X-Wings that we could have done. We could have done a New Republic X-Wing and gotten Colonel Ward out there. We could have done a Partisan X-Wing. We could have done Hera's X-Wing. Tons of you could have put out a new.
There were better alternatives.
There were better alternatives, right? You could have put out Django's Slave One again. We told you to do that. You didn't do that. Okay, fine, whatever. I said you should do that. You didn't do that. Fine, whatever. The point is, in-universe stuff is what we are looking for in this line. All right, I've said my piece.
And I think
somebody else jump in.
We don't need to spend too much more time on this, but I see people saying, this is in the same vein as a Cantina 4-pack from last year, but people were able to at least use that because those technically are in universe because they appeared in Clone Wars and Rebels and stuff.
That was
now.
A great point that Evan brought up. I never thought of that until you brought it up on Toys channel earlier.
Yeah,
but. I don't know. And as they said, they're kind of figuring out now that Retro is getting a lot more releases next year, maybe this would have been a better thing to do in Retro and X-Wing that looks more like the actual Kenner one instead of in Vintage. I think they're figuring it out. I think the response to this is pretty obvious. So, I don't know. Anyway,
if you want it as I could, okay?
If you want it, it goes up for pre-order Thursday, August 20th at 1 p.m. Eastern Time. And if you wonder what somebody said, what were they smoking when they designed this? Well, Luke's number is VC420, so you do the math on that one.
Yep.
All right, we're done with this one. Let's move on.
Let's move on.
Woo!
Let's move on. All right,
John, who we got?
Next fan channel wave. We did talk about this a while ago. Revealed during the May the 4th festivities. Entertainment Earth says it's coming in August. Pulse says September, so it could be any day now. But we previously talked about this wave and some of the unfortunate issues. And
I've only included one image of each one of these guys to breeze through them.
All right, great.
Cool, awesome.
Most of which have been fixed, according to the reviews from Boston Bounty, who seems to be the only person who has these. I think Minimalist Falcon in the chat here also has them. This includes VC401 Luke, now with the correct lightsabers, which I was actually shocked to see.
Not shown on this image, but yes.
VC402 Plo Koon, now with better coloring and a better-ish fitting robe, hopefully. VC403 Bodhi Rook, now with the correct joint colors. Very happy about that change. VC404 Phase 1 Clone Commander, now with the correct helmet paint. Unless you're Phil the Force. Sorry, Phil the Force.
I saw that.
And then VC405.
Wider trend.
Tommy's favorite, VC405 Anakin Skywalker with the correct brown robe.
Top figure of the year?
But were these issues going to be...
Nice.
I'm going to buy you a
Brandon's here. Be nice.
We do need to finish the 96, but it's not for everyone. But were these issues going to be fixed anyway and we freaked out for nothing? Or did the freak out help point out what needed to be fixed? We'll never really know, so let's just keep on freaking out anyway.
Keep on freaking out.
But, so we already talked a lot about this wave. We'll talk more about it when we get it soon. So let's move on to... the next mainline wave. Also, we didn't really talk about this. It's old news at this point.
And I've also only got one image for each one. So
great.
We'll
just go a global overview. Revealed the week after The Mandalorian and Grogu came out. Hey, remember there was a Star Wars movie a couple months ago? No?
What? No way.
There was.
What?
I heard it made like $20.
But Entertainment Earth and Hasbro Pulse both say September for this wave. Which includes VC406 Imbo, his second 3.75-inch figure after the animated version. His skirt looks darker in other images. VC407 Mercenary Droid, which shares, I believe, the arms with the Super Battle Droid.
Yep.
And the Black Series 1 is the one that looks more like the B1 and uses parts in the HK87.
Real quick, John.
Pretty easy for
Brandon chimed in.
Yes.
About the previous wave, those things were being fixed. The earlier images were shot with older samples. It was a whole thing.
So don't
Thanks, Brandon,
freak
for
out
the
after
transparency.
Thank you, Brandon.
Well, yeah,
Cool.
we do appreciate when you guys fix things, or if you're able to, of course. Sometimes it's too late in the process.
There's just one thing that wasn't.
What was it, Evan? No, I'm just
We'll get there. We'll get there. So,
anyway, there are other. I'm very happy to see this guy. Obviously, was able to happen with the B2 this year and whatnot. So even though they look very similar, only the arms are shared, I believe. But the other versions would be. I want to go through now the digital release and the screenshots and point and look at random droids in the background. Yeah, he looks awesome.
I mean, the overall B2 scope is just like so good.
Yeah, he looks rad as
and then VC408 Devin Izar. We spoke about this one a little bit when it was revealed at CCXP. I think it was CCXP Mexico.
It was.
She looks fantastic. I love that card. Looks great.
God, she's gonna be tiny. You can tell.
Yeah.
The setup they had at Comic-Con.
That's fine. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Where they had those awesome dioramas at Comic-Con where they had her and Maul fighting the Inquisitors.
Yeah,
very exciting.
Great.
So VC409 Sand Trooper is a repack from the Stormtroopers of the Empire set on a new card, the same film out image as the retro collection release from last year. It's still, unfortunately, I'm very glad to have more of these, but it doesn't have the corrected knee or updated barbell hips. But thank the Force, it at least doesn't have a gray pauldron.
Always got to be the knees.
That
also missing those pouches on the belt.
Gray pauldron.
Yeah, the pouches on the belt. Yep.
Yes, and the pouches on the belt. But and then wrapping up the wave is VC410 Harrison Dula. This is her season 1 and 2 look, which shares legs with her season 3 and 4 look from the HasLab, which is accurate to the show. I did all those posts when Hasbro. I did all that stuff, but when Hasbro
you did
revealed,
great posts.
Thank you. I was trying to remember if I mentioned it here. I was going off script. You know what? I wrote a great script. I'm going to stick to it. When Hasbro revealed her, they pointed out that they're almost done with the season 1 crew. I think they mentioned there's only 2 more to go, but then most recently they revealed there will be that carded 3-pack we mentioned to support the Ghost. So we already have the full season 3 crew. We got the season 1 and 2 started with Kanan and Zeb, and now we got Hera. Will we finally be getting Ezra and Sabine to join them one day? Can we complete this crew, please? And we got to complete all the we got to complete all the Sabine looks too, please, for me. If nobody else,
I want them.
Do it.
And then all right,
my favorite cards, like really nice.
Yeah.
Sorry, I pulled it down prematurely.
It's all good.
It's your favorite card, and you don't get to look at it anymore.
Yeah, never.
And
again.
then we got one more final mainline wave just revealed, which is our final mainline wave for the year, I believe. Revealed
I do have all of the photos for him. So
revealed at San Diego Comic-Con a few weeks ago. Entertainment Earth and Pulse both say November, and then wrapping up the Battle of Geonosis for the year. We'll talk about that in a second. But this wave includes VC 414 Hero Collections. John wants the completed crew. I want all the crews completed. Thank you, Brandon.
Yes.
But so Tanith says, do we need Sabine with and without the pouches and belts to complete the crew? We got that. She's got that action gear that sometimes she would wear. I'll take one. Let's take one version of each first, and then we'll go from there. How about?
Then we'll get crazy.
I'll live with it.
Real quick regarding this droid, this is what I was talking about, though, right? Like, we know there needs to be a certain amount of retools and repacks and repaints throughout the year. This is what I call a useful repaint. This is an in-universe thing that makes sense, because some of the line has to be repaints, right? This is a useful repaint, right? Shock Trooper, we all want that. This is a useful repaint. Now we have a commander for our droids. This is a useful repaint.
And as Twin Sons Collecting pointed out in the great post talking about all the positives in the line on Hasbro,
Brandon asks, this figure on red, blue, and yellow?
Yes, please.
Yep.
Yes.
Do not hesitate. Show no mercy.
The colors of the card. I need my new security droids. I need all the versions, all the variations from the Clone Wars, from the movies, everything, please.
Yep. Red security, blue pilot, yellow commander. Yes. Do it.
Yes.
Don't even ask.
Tank driver.
And on the basic battle droid, because I need the new wrists on the classic battle droid.
Yes.
But anyway.
Yeah, classic battle droid.
As Twin Sons pointed out in their post, I love that Hasbro now is doing the 4-pack army builders are all straight army builders in the 4-pack, and then the commanders are being released right alongside it. That happened with the Snowtrooper. It happened with the Phase 1 clone and the clone commander, and then this guy, and he had some other examples that were awesome to see. So
Snowtrooper commander.
Yes.
Yep.
So very excited about this.
Super hyped about this.
Yeah.
Still needs a mace to deflect the blaster bolt right back at his chest, but we'll get into the whole Battle of Geonosis thing in a second. Another droid based on that same beautiful 4-pack, which is lost in the mail somewhere for me, is VC415 Super Battle Droid, same as the 4-pack, just without the B2 HA arm cannon.
A very sensible repack.
Yes.
Although it
Very
came a
out
little bit too quick
quite a
for them
bit
to correct
everywhere.
the arms. So
Yeah.
Yes.
While we've got Brandon here, I just have to reiterate, please, at your earliest opportunity, retool this arm so that they can do the correct pose with the
Circle
forearm. Move the swivel from the bicep to the forearm, please. At your earliest opportunity,
Yes.
retool that right arm.
that'd be
Or
great.
both arms, I guess. I don't know if they're both have to get retooled.
And then we need all those variants: Bedlam Raiders,
Yes.
all the Clone Wars versions, the rocket droids, everything, the training droids.
Yeah.
You were just saying how great it is. Now it's nice. You know, I saw a lot of people saying we need this outside.
It's like a
the
9
4-pack.
out of 10. It was so close to
It's
perfection.
right.
Hey,
This one is
so
Heard,
Can I-
Chef. Thank you,
Can I
Chef.
show something real quick here?
Yeah.
I was messing with my super battle droid. I know you're talking about this pose,
Yeah.
but I was able to get him just
Lucky
now
toad.
into this one here. Look at that right there.
Still pretty good. Still
Crossed
pretty good.
one.
Yep.
It's pretty, and you can mess around with the shoulder a little bit too.
Well, that's
Really
pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It looks
Yeah.
similar
Okay.
to the one on the card.
Yeah,
Yep.
It's close.
yeah,
It's
pretty
close.
good.
Yes. So beautiful. I'll get mine when I get my replacements. But
Someday,
Maybe
John.
one day.
Someday.
I'm then happy to get. I did buy a case of these guys. You know, I'll probably buy more. But you know what? Elbow or not, it looks great. But all right, next VC 416 Anakin Skywalker Padawan, based on the sculpt of the two Ahsoka series Anakin figures, which gave us the leg and then the torso, the Clone Wars and Revenge of the Sith outfits. Looks so similar to the Tartakovsky Clone Wars Anakin from the 2-pack that Steve Evans accidentally gave a sneaky peeky on his Instagram
Yes.
story.
No,
Not even
what are you
realizing
talking
what he's
about?
doing.
What are you talking about?
was
Was
a
it
new-
was it accidental or was he being cheeky?
Yes.
I don't know.
But
Cheeky Stevie.
and as we said, he's got the great Force Push hand. I think it's the same one from the Revenge of the Sith version, but happy to have it. Could have had the green lightsaber. They said they wanted to have the lightsabers, the non-Geonosis lightsabers, even though this is a Geonosis theme.
Wrong.
Why not
call.
both?
I
Why not
gotta
both?
say,
Why not
it
both?
should have been, with the amount of reuse in this wave, should have been both. And if it had to be one or the other, unfortunately, that was the wrong call to give them this because you can always give them their evergreen lightsabers. But this was Battle of Geonosis, and this was specific, and it's in the
This
poster for
is-
Battle of Geonosis. That's a mistake. That was not the right call. I'm so sorry.
This
I
is
hate
one
to
of
be that
those
guy.
yes and that the
Yes.
hashtag yes
Yes.
and. I like the hands. Give me the alt hands and the other lightsaber.
Yep.
Can I
So-
just say one thing about this Anakin and the mains in general, though, because I know we're going to talk about the other two, but you know, I saw some disappointment about how this wave is boring because the characters have been done before. And like, listen, first of all, if you think that this Anakin didn't need to be redone, I want you to look at this figure and then look at the one on your screen. Can you pull the other one back up, Evan?
Well, I was.
yeah.
Man, I just went to
Sorry.
other photos because you sent a photo
Sorry.
that I
Yeah,
should have
yeah.
had.
Yeah, you could. Yeah, please go ahead and pull up the Obi-Wan picture if you have that available.
Yeah,
There it
dude.
is.
Um,
Even though it's Revenge.
my point here, right? Thank you. I don't know if you can zoom in a little bit, but
So comical in the back there.
there are so many people who didn't understand or see the value in updating these mains, right? Make the mains. That's what we're talking about. Is like kind of the big thing, right? Look at these two figures. Can you honestly look at me with a straight face and look at the figure on the right and say, nah, we didn't need a newer version of that. We didn't need an update.
I'll tell
And then
you,
look
they
at the figure on the left and tell me that that's not vastly better, vastly superior.
I think there's one
Come on.
area where they got it right
on.
20 years ago.
And now hold that thought
Somewhere
before-
between the
don't
thighs and the
spoil it.
shins.
Let's-
Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
But my point is here, right? Look, we all wanted more things from Return to Tatooine. We all wanted, a billion more Cantina denizens.
Yeah.
You didn't necessarily get that because a big chunk of it got taken up by the mains that had to get done. The Han, the Luke, the Ben, the Chewie, so on and so forth. And it's the same with this thing. Like, people wanted all of these different Jedi. They wanted Yoda. They wanted Ki-Adi-Mundi. They wanted Mace Windu. They wanted Kit Fisto. They, on and on and on. But guys, let's be serious. Let's be honest. Let's be honest here, okay? They had to knock out the mains first, okay? They just did. This was a release that had to happen. The Obi-Wan was a release that had to happen. The Padme was a release that had to happen. You got to start somewhere, and there's no more appropriate place to start than with the mains who need to be updated. And then we can talk about, okay, now we need Yoda, now we need Mace, now we need all these other characters.
I think if
just
we,
like, go ahead. Sorry,
we're not starting here. This is the final. These are the final reveals for Battle of Geonosis.
I
then
know,
we get the poster, and then everyone's like, "Oh, that's it." So I think that's why. Then it's all great, it's all wonderful, it's all lovely. But then we can assess. Okay, wait a minute. We're missing X, Y, and Z. Similar to the indoor story, we're missing the Commando and the Ewoks, and the Tatooine story, we're missing a lot of Cantina denizens, stuff like that. So it's the same feeling here.
Well, and like we had the Revenge of the Sith Anakin. Did you really think that they weren't going to put out an Attack of the Clones Anakin? Like, come on, guys. It just makes sense. You have this amazing new beautiful tooling. It's basically the exact same costume with a different head and different lightsaber.
I mean, he's gonna
Why
look
would they
awesome.
not do that?
Yeah,
and it looks awesome.
Yep.
And again, can you look at this figure honestly with a straight face and tell me, nah, he didn't need updating, and then look at that figure and be like, he's not that much better. Yes, he is. Come on, anybody with eyeballs can see. Come on. You know what I mean?
Saying the other day with Tommy and Evan, it makes sense to do these main characters when we're about to get the gunship, and you want the main core characters done properly to display with the gunship. The stuff in the background will hopefully come after.
Yes,
but we need these.
You had to knock out the mains first.
Well, like I said, Tyler, it makes sense when we had the Revenge of the Sith one being done. Like, why not be smart about this and knock out both at the same time?
Right.
It makes sense. I understand why Hasbro's doing this.
Yes.
And we talked about it on your show, Toys, and I had mentioned it as well. I think the only reason that I'm not disappointed, I'm really happy. I'm very much a make the mains guy, and I like having them updated to modern standard, of course. I think it was just looking at Return to Tatooine during the HasLab that launched with, hey, the mains are coming. So now you can, be surprised by the other stuff that happens or look forward to stuff that you may not think is as obvious. Battle of Geonosis, it was, oh no, you're going to maybe start to wonder if the mains are going to get updated. And then it closes out with, the mains is like that are kind of like well, duh, you had to make them or else we would have been, kind of a little upset. Maybe, I don't know.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have been stoked if the mains weren't updated for the gunship.
Also,
so
Tommy, like you've been saying that a lot of people have actually been super into this wave. Actually,
dude, I to build off Tyler's point, let alone for the fact that for existing TVC collectors who have been in the game, that these are great necessary updates to these main characters of this entire movie. For me being a newer TVC collector, and I tend to be the mouthpiece for all the people that have come into the hobby for the last 12 months since the Republic gunship first got announced. Man, we were stoked for this wave because what were all our alternatives? We would have to go back, look at eBay, and try and get these older, inferior versions of these characters in order to build them out in the display. So not only are you giving us the newest figures that match the quality and articulation of everything else that's new that we've been buying for the last 12 months, we also get all three of them in the same wave. So like for new collectors, again, I can speak to so many people this year from Black Series have been looking at TVC and going, oh wow, I'll buy that. I mean, to the point where I've had over a dozen people message me just in the since this wave got revealed, that are Black Series only collectors that go, dude, Tommy, I pre-ordered this entire wave of TVC because you gave me all three of the main characters in the same wave instead of drip feeding them over the course of the next. Now, the one thing I will say Evan brought up to close my point is I do agree with Evan. I think these would have also worked well as a multi-pack, a 3-figure special action figure set for these characters, especially because they already did Padme at the top of the year. I think that these would have worked well as a special action figure set. But that said, regardless, I know so many people that pre-ordered this entire wave that are new collectors for TVC and Black Series collectors jumping in. So that is really encouraging.
Yeah.
I just want to say one last thing, and I made this point on Bantha Skull the other day, but the vintage collection, this line isn't going to last forever, right? We want it to last for as long as it can, another 5 to 10 years. Chris Reif was saying it in I think a couple of interviews. My house will be paid off before TVC ends, and I really hope so. I hope that's true. I hope it plays out that way.
Let's hope he's got a long mortgage.
Let's hope he's got 25 years left on that, right? But my point is, this line isn't going to last forever, and it's really important, I think, while we have this line, to knock out these most important characters that people the most key characters that people want to photograph, that people want to display,
Yep.
right? We have this tooling. These characters are so definitive and so good that I think they're still going to be viable and still going to hold up in 20 to 30 years from now. And the reason why I say that is you look at the old antenna mold clone trooper, right? That so many people 20 years later still swear by. They're like, oh man, that clone trooper sculpt is the GOAT. They're wrong because spoiler alert, we have a new one. But my point is they are still swearing by this figure 20 years later.
Yeah.
And I think that they're putting out figures right now that are going to stand the test of time and still hold up 20, 30 years from now. And that's why it's so important to update the most important characters in the saga. Make the mains, right? That's what it's all about. Anyway, just wanted to say that.
But when we make the mains, we have to make them correctly.
Yes.
Yes.
Which brings us to the next reveal.
VC 417, Obi-Wan Bad knees, whatever they call it. Baloney's, yes.
Yep.
Censored. We can't even look at it. Oh, Evan, I'm sorry.
Yeah. Anyway,
It is bad.
here's
It
the
is
actual
bad.
photos.
Evan, you got some audio for me or
Let's see. Will this work? Maybe. Let's see.
We've been delisted, demonetized.
Get low?
Oh, dude.
So, I don't know. And Steve Evans, again, we're talking about his social media gives us enough content for 5-hour streams.
Yeah.
But yes, as Brandon points out, my understanding is both Obi-Wans
Yes.
were developed at the same time. Therefore, it couldn't have been corrected or updated from one to the next.
Agreed.
Which is unfortunate. Unfortunate, and hopefully going forward they will be. Because for the love of God, even though we said Episode 1 Obi-Wan is the same costume as this guy, do not just reuse the legs for Episode 1 Obi-Wan. That would be a travesty.
Just hold that. Okay. I'm going to make myself big real quick. This one, yeah, you got to give it another look. I'm sorry, I'm taking up the screen. This isn't right. This is not right. Anatomically, proportionally, it's not right. You do not need to make these knees. I mean, it's a bummer seeing the tooling, and I'm sorry for being grumpy. Trying not to be. These fit the same size ball, the Yord Fandar, and I think Master Soul legs. They look great. They are proportionate. They are correct. You just need to do new lower legs, and again with the material, because the knee is not in the boot. The knee is above the boot. So that's it. I could talk about this forever. I've talked about it way too much. You just got to take another look at it. These are proportionally out of whack. It's not going to be fixed with with paint. Sorry.
It's a tooling problem.
It's a tooling problem. It's
not
an
gonna be fixed.
anatomical problem.
As long as you have the upper thighs, they're never going to be right.
Yeah.
So you just throw them all up.
The upper thighs are too long. The lower legs are too short with the knee sculpted too low. That hard angle on these knees with the saggy pants over it. No, don't do that. No. Don't do it. It's wrong. It's bad.
I like Brandon's response. I like my knees as they are. If we don't update Obi-Wan's knees, then I'll fear for what the community will do to mine. Or ours.
Listen, I'm not saying that. Yeah, but also
I'm
the
not
thing
saying
is
we're
too,
gonna kneecap you, but
these.
no, I'm just kidding.
These Yord and Soul thighs and the hips and whatever, they're perfect. They're not too baggy. You can get high mileage out of them. They are very useful. They are what should be used on the next Obi-Wan for the prequels. It's also not just a recent thing. Every Obi-Wan since 2022, including old Ben, has suffered from this very same problem of thighs that are too long and lower legs that are too short. I don't know what happened to this character.
Because of Obi-Wan.
Can I jump in here real quick?
Yeah, I'm sorry. Again, apologies.
Well,
I'm
no,
not trying to be grumpy or mean or anything. It's just, it is hard when these aren't done right the first time, because you never know when you're going to get another thing. And then it becomes a game of having to ask, well, do you want it updated or do you want something new? And then we're forced to choose again, something that shouldn't have to be asked for again. And it's more tooling that has been, wasted. You cannot reuse these legs again, ever. You can't.
Legs were done fine in Black Series. They were done fine in every previous line. I don't understand what's going on.
Anakin-
And as you said,
Anakin's
they've been
legs
bad.
are fine.
Anakin's legs are fine in the same way, but I don't understand why I do. So yes, like the Wandering Jedi, the Obi-Wan series, Obi-Wan's, that his had really long thighs as well.
Yeah.
At least the boots were still full, so it was like, oh, these are bad, but they're not like,
because they were short boots. He had, like,
they're not an affront to my eyes as these ones are. So it's
Yeah.
like, you know. Anyway,
but they're proportionally
yes,
so.
yeah,
I just want to jump in here real quick because Chris, in one of his interviews, I can't remember which one it was, but he alleged to kind of the manpower on the brand team being lessened and how they had to rush something, right? The issue with this is that I think you have to, there's not enough attention to detail right now. And I'm not trying to be insulting when I say that. These sort of things should have been caught at the prototype level, right?
The second that they had to cut into the knee.
Hold on.
Yeah.
I know. Just let me get this out. So there needs to be someone who is literally playing with the prototype, moving the joints around, examining it. And it's not just the knees too. We talked about the sleeves. The sleeves overhang over the hand, and it makes it so that the hand is effectively useless in terms of its articulation because someone wasn't there playing with the prototype and giving the figure a sort of functionality test run. Okay. Someone's got to be doing that before these things get rubber stamped to go into production. And and perhaps, the retro enthusiasts are not necessarily the people for that. I don't know. Steve has said that he struggles with articulation sometimes. I'm not trying to say anything bad or be mean, but someone needs to be, like I said, test driving the functionality of these figures, and so that stuff like this can get caught at the digital design level or at the very latest the prototype level before they go into final production. And you know what? I think I would be happy to do that for free. Evan would be happy to do that. You don't have to pay some contractor $100,000.
Do it all the time.
You don't have to pay someone $100,000 to.
if you want to pay
do that.
$100,000,
Yeah, if you want to, it's great.
That's fine.
We would do it for free to make sure that this stuff comes out correctly, and so that you don't have to spend. We talk all the time about how constrictive our budget is, and we couldn't include a head with Moff Gideon or Commander Cody because we didn't have the budget for it. Okay, but we got to spend budget on correcting tooling here on these mistakes that didn't have to happen in the first place, right? It's literally costing us money to correct these mistakes that shouldn't have happened in the first place. Again, the B2 arm, Obi-Wan's knees, right? Stuff like this needs to get caught before it goes into production, because on the back end we have to spend tooling now to fix this stuff, and it also costs us slots that could be retools for other things, right? And it's just, I don't know, something needs to get better about the I don't want to say the quality control, but just the attention to detail at the prototype level, at the digital sculpt level, so that these sorts of things don't happen anymore, because it's expensive mistakes on the back end, and I'm not trying to be mean here. I'm just trying to give some constructive feedback.
That's what we're trying to do. The gist of, me being grumpy too, it's trying to be constructive so we can avoid these situations in the future, so we don't have waste, so we don't miss out on other stuff that we also want at the yes. And so
anyway, not trying to be take the whole stream to a negative place.
Sorry, it
had to be said. Had to be said.
Other than that, I do appreciate again the alternate hands, which I think some are similar to Revenge of the Sith.
That should have come with the Revenge of the Sith Obi-Wan instead of this, and maybe the correct lightsaber, but we've already talked about that with Anakin.
Yes. So I don't know, mixed bag on this guy, but he's given the peace sign.
He looks much better than what we have. We were talking about that the other day.
He can poke out Dooku's eyes like the Three Stooges.
Even with the knees being a little bit, of an eyesore or whatever. Overall, this is a huge improvement.
It didn't stop me from getting the figure.
Same here.
Yeah.
I also just want to comment. I like the and I said this before about the Tartakovsky 2-pack. I like this new thing where they're adding like the really shiny metallic paint. I don't know if that's what is that called? What's the really shiny paint called? People talk about it with 3PO all the time.
Vac metal.
It's not vac
Vac
metal,
metal. It's not vac metal. Okay.
not.
Well,
Carbonized.
whatever they're doing with the paint on the new lightsaber hilts, where they're making the metallic like really really shiny silver. I like that. Please keep doing that because it makes the hilts look better than ever. I really like that.
They're hitting a good formula when it comes to that metallic sheen, especially we were talking earlier, Tommy, on like the B2 battle droid. That looks phenomenal. I think the recent Mando from the Mando and Grogu movie, the armor is the best looking on there as well. And they really nailed that, taking it back to Jango. Jango was the first time I was like, oof, okay, they're cooking with that formula that they got
seriously.
right there.
Yeah.
Real quick, July through November, I can't say for sure. I suspect it was a factory change with the knees due to the tolerance at the front of the knee. No, because it's sculpted, like it's designed in the wrong place, fully.
I mean, Evan, you don't remember that really iconic scene where Obi-Wan hyperextended his legs,
that
walked around, and that's how he disguised himself as a Geonosian in the Geonosian fortress.
Let's move forward.
Yeah, we're moving forward.
One thing I want to say on his expression, it kind of looks like the visible happiness meme. He's kind of smiling a little bit. That's kind
I
of.
made a joke that this sculpt was based on the reshoot beard version.
It does kind of look like it. All right, last one in the wave. VC 418, Padme Amidala.
Slam dunk.
Yep.
We didn't even have to wait a full year for the battle damage version. We begin and end the Battle of Geonosis with Padme. It is hard to see in the press photos. They kind of didn't take him at a great angle. The hair, I thought, it's like her wig slipping off. But then, yes, her hair does fall off later in the battle. It looks better in some of the other photos.
Evan, do you have that? Yeah. Can you zoom in on that?
Yeah. So it's all good. We don't need to talk about how people were confused about it. But
it's just there. That's the end.
The scratches on the back, I will say I wish they had painted them. I just double checked. Even when she's shooting at Dooku, her wounds hadn't fully healed. But people can add paint if they want to. I don't know. Yeah. One thing I do want to ask about is the people have been whining and complaining about the hinged wrists on the female characters. Her cankle wrists, her frists. And they're back. The first Padme earlier this year did not have ball joint wrists.
This is why we should trust Hasbro when they say that female wrists are too small because it doesn't look right. They're like, all right, we're gonna do it, and now
we talked about it on Toys channel a couple days ago. I feel like it was necessary for this character because she has a two-handed blaster.
Yeah.
And so giving her the wrists gives her just that little bit of better articulation to hold it. And I
agree.
I gotta say, for me, I didn't expect this, especially when we got Padme at the top of the year. I was like, I guess we won't be getting battle damage Padme. And my original one from the beginning of the year, I posed it without that awesome quilted scarf because I was like, this is the only version we'll get. As soon as this got revealed, I dug up my little scarf, stuck it on my other Padme. I'm super excited to have both now.
It'll also help with this pose because she does this a lot.
Yep.
In the movie, she kind of holds her blaster sort of straight up. So to get that little bit more in the wrist will help with that.
But as
I just wanted to say it was nice to get an alt head with this. I thought it's not something they needed to do. They didn't have to do that, and they gave us an alt head. Sure. I think that's really cool, personally. So
and for both the head and the wrists, you can swap them out with the figure from earlier this year if you don't like it.
100%.
Yep.
100%.
I also was saying yesterday, going to the wrist on female characters, I do want to see it once we have it in hand because I feel like everything's a little bit different once you actually have it in front of you.
Definitely.
But I do appreciate them trying.
Yeah.
So that I like. I like seeing the effort to try here and think outside the box and see if it will work. Again, I want to see it in hand, but I do think there's some value to actually adding that articulation. Yeah. And as I was talking about the other day, Padme is one of the smaller female characters, period. Mm-hmm. So for them to try it on her is also impressive because we could see it maybe on somebody else who's a little bit of a taller female, and it might be a little bit proportionally better.
Yeah.
And we talked about it too, where we saw how small Devin is, though, even compared to Padme, it looks like. So I think I prefer aesthetically that Devin has the wrist that she has.
Agreed.
Because I do think this would have been quite the eyesore had they done this on her. So
Though
I wish she had a neutral left hand. But,
you get both though. Now if you don't like the hinge wrists, you still have the swivel wrists on the other Padme. So
Yep.
You get both.
And so after years of no Padme, we get 2 in the same year, which is awesome, and I would love more.
I think it's great. Super
Yeah, it's rad. I love it.
I still would advocate for more unmade Padmes, please, Brandon. I know you're on the stream. I know
Well,
one of your
Padme.
Black Series most wanted figures was Lakeside Padme. Please, for the love of God, to put her in TV.
Yes, 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 yes.
Thank you. Bye.
It's so nice too that they were forward thinking and we didn't have to ask for this. They were like, you know what?
Yeah.
We're gonna put this version out, and then we know they're gonna ask for the battle damage one, so let's just do it. And this is the same thing that I was talking about last year with the Snowtrooper and the Snowtrooper Commander.
Yep.
Right? They just did it without having to be told. They had the foresight to know the community's gonna want the Commander too. The community's gonna want battle damaged Padme. This is the kind of like gears return and stuff that we like to see.
Yeah.
And also on the card back, I want to say, because this last time they did this battle damage Padme was the first wave of 3.75 Black Series. So it was like we had just missed on getting this Padme on a vintage card, 13 years ago, whatever it was. So now
Worth
it's
the wait.
finally
Worth the wait.
a great
100%.
era has been corrected.
Yes.
But
yes.
Okay, so
Amen.
while we're on the subject, that concludes. Hasbro revealed the poster finally for Battle of Geonosis. It wasn't like Tatooine where they drip fed one at a time, where they photoshopped them all in. We got bing, bang, boom, all in one go. So in addition to the recent reveals and the current arrivals we talked about earlier, we're still waiting on the Geonosian Warrior 4-pack. Pulse has it listed for October. Yeah, so as we said, could have been more Jedi, of course, but as I said, the 2 in the basic land, Plo Koon and Shaak Ti, the background ones, I mean, we're on March Madness multiple times, which is awesome. So many army builders. I'm still waiting for a lot of them to come in.
Yeah.
I wanted to run the numbers. It is similarly sized to Return to Tatooine.
Yeah.
A lot more army builders, as we said. Both could have used more Glup Shidos, of course, and that is something I hope they still continue to do in terms of Cantina denizens, Jedi Council members,
Something me and Tyler really like. No swivel hips on this poster whatsoever.
Yes, none at all.
Yes. Thank you. Actually, I wanted to make a point about that. I won't be long-winded here, but
Let him cook.
assuming that there's no surprise somewhere between now and January 1st, John, Mr. Mustache, Mr.
Yes.
Historical Knowledge about walking Wikipedia, right? Assuming that nothing changes, is this the first year in the history of 3.75 that not a single figure that was released had swivel hips?
Oh,
'Cause
well,
I think
okay,
it
here's
is.
to
I
rain on the
think it
parade.
is.
Tana said the Reese reprint came out this year. However, that was a rerun of the Jabba's Denizens 4-pack, which
Yeah,
it wasn't a new item.
Yeah.
So other
Yeah.
than that, yes. So which is a cause for celebration, I would have to say.
So in that sense, this is a historic year where we're finally, sort of bringing all the releases instead of it being a roller coaster of, wow, this is magnificent, swivel hips, wow, this is fantastic, right? Like we're making those ripples a little bit more, plateaued, all nice, all on the same level, expecting a certain level of articulation and quality. This is what we want to see. Nice, consistent line, right? I got to give Hasbro props on this because we've been talking about it for years. I've been saying, please stop repacking stuff with swivel hips. And they have finally listened. We got to give credit where credit is due when they listen. So thank you.
Force Ghost
Let's
Yoda
keep it
was
going.
last year.
Don't go back next year. Don't regress. Keep it going forward.
Yeah, every figure on there
Good.
is a modern action figure. I love
Other
it.
than those
Yes.
knees are front and center, but we already talked about the knees quite a bit. But
Knees are-
other than that,
Other than that.
Anakin not having the green lightsaber is pretty glaring to people like me. That's my brand of illness.
yes,
I don't
yes.
love that, but the correct lightsaber exists. Just
Hey.
another figure over on Coleman, but it's fine. Glad I backed an extra
I
lat,
was
so I'll have
being
an extra
nice.
lightsaber.
I was giving them props, and you guys.
Yeah,
had to
so
go
that is a
be
very
negative again.
that's a very positive
very
change
positive
that we were
overall.
looking
Yeah.
for and has happened. So that's very nice to see.
Also, shout out to
Yes.
they actually had these posters in limited quantities at San Diego, and I have to give a huge thank you
Oh,
to
wow.
my friend Chet Maddox from Shadow Nose Network. Was able to go to the Hasbro booth and grab me one, so I'm very, very thankful to him. But also, there's an Easter egg on the back of the poster of a figure that hasn't been revealed yet.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
I was wondering about
Yeah,
that in the
Down at the gunship there.
But however,
I'm not convinced.
I think because we did get the lieutenant just a couple years ago in the previous four pack of Phase 1 troopers.
I think it's the skinny. I think it's the skinny.
Tell. We were like staring at his
It's
wrist.
not.
We
He has the
really couldn't
fatter
tell.
wrists, and they did say at the panel that they had a tease of a character that they haven't revealed yet on the poster. So that leads me to believe the lieutenant is coming.
Very good.
Oh,
Brandon says
All right,
lieutenant.
I quit.
Boom, real time.
He's gone again. I'm sorry.
That was not a fun
It was
fact.
the old one.
Wow.
Yeah.
All right,
That was the
Brandon.
opposite
We
of a
need
fun
the
hey!
lieutenant on the new sculpt.
Even better news, we already have that on the old sculpt.
Unfun fact. Unfun fact.
So yes, it would have been great to get all 4 of the Attack of the Clones commanders. It would have been great to get more and more Jedi. It would have been great to get Yoda to ride in on the gunship, everything else, Mace, because he's so important in the Battle of Geonosis. But,
Hopefully in the future.
always in motion is the future.
Always in motion.
Yeah.
So, all right.
Let's keep the fun going.
Let's move on from Attack of the Clones, a movie some fans would like to forget, to a movie fans already did forget, The Mandalorian and Grogu. Just kidding.
Crazy.
Oh, no.
I'm a fan. I'm just joking. But there are 3 more.
Oh, Lord.
3 more releases to talk about for now, include each from a different world, 2 of which even got names. So from Nal Hutta, it's VC419, the Amani Guard, which Boss Expandy got to exclusively reveal on his channel. The 4th and final deluxe figure for the year. Based on armor not seen in the final film, I did have to go through the screen caps, make sure they're all naked as jaybirds. They're in their birthday suits, naked as the day they were born, fighting Mando. I do have to wonder, this is where I put on my tinfoil hat, I wonder if they're supposed to be guarding the palace, but changed to droid Gotra in the final edit,
Maybe.
because then the Yamani were moved to be more feral and wild in the water, as opposed to being like trained guards on the payroll. But anyway, as we said earlier, does this get us closer to finishing the 96 with Amana Man? Looks like they can reuse parts without armor. The neck, upper torso, lower legs, and feet. Amana Man has a longer tail, a less severe facial expression. Maybe some foot issues going on. He's kind of got club foot. I don't know. Jabba's healthcare plan doesn't cover podiatry as well as his cousin's healthcare plan does. So who knows? But yeah, I wish. Again, it's kind of a bummer that not all the armor is removable, so he could be accurate to the film. But it does look awesome in and of itself.
Looks so cool though.
He's
He looks
amazing.
And I love that
him.
there's the two staffs, the 2 spears. So it's like,
Yeah.
I'm going to get an extra one. So
Some variety, yeah.
Those are the ones that, and Din uses one of them in the water
Yeah.
with the dragon snake and the Amani.
Yeah. Yeah, this guy is awesome. Shout out! They actually used my little brother as the physique for this. Character. So, shout out Logan. They used him. He looks cool. I don't even care about the armor. I still pre-ordered one. My dad pre-ordered one. So yeah, super excited.
It's one of those interesting things like you remember Dexter with the pipe? Probably not, but things like Sergeant Jyn Erso, things like that, where it's a glimpse into the production process of the film, which I always find at least a fun novelty, a fun story. Sure. It does look awesome. Yeah, I love the bigger figures, the different crazy aliens. These guys were pretty awesome in the movie too.
When
I
they
know this
roll,
is kind of like a fairly
I love
new
it.
thing with them, with the bubble extension on the top to like fit the accessory in there. But I do really like that's like getting creative and still just keeping it for the most part.
Picador does it too.
With the Picador and the Inquisitors,
Inquisitors,
And with those, it was kind of weird because it's like longer, and then but the accessory is still in the front of the bubble. But this is in the back of the bubble, which I think I prefer. But
yeah,
he
it's
looks
cool.
great.
I'm excited for this guy.
looks awesome. So let's go to a different planet from the beginning of the film. The unnamed, definitely not Hoth snow planet, is the INT-4 Interceptor with Imperial Remnant Warlord. His planet doesn't have a name, and he got one too late to be added to the card back. Commander Barrow. So yes, pretty awesome. Of course, this was a nod to the Kenner mini rig from Empire Strikes Back.
It was really fun to see Chris talk about, how I think he said he works in Mark Boudreau's old office, where he worked on the original Kenner INT-4, and now he's working very cyclical. Lucasfilm put it in the movie, and then they made the TVC version. It's very, very fun story. But I was really surprised to see this. I love that we're getting Commander Barrow, the Warlord. I wasn't sure if that was one that we were going to get. So it's really nice to have someone that can command. Oh boy, all my snow troopers are somewhere else. But command our remnant troops from this snowy planet that's totally not Hoth or wherever it's from. I don't know, Renvar or Ilum or wherever it is. And I'm just kidding. But I'm super stoked about this guy. I love his soft goods, cold weather coat. It was interesting giving him the lower soft goods so that he can sit in there. That's probably the right call. And we get a new torso out of it, a nice bigger torso for sort of the stockier Imperials going forward. So maybe we could get some of the ones from Andor or somewhere else. What I wanted to say about mini rigs in general is that a lot of people have been saying, I want mini rigs to come into TVC. And I gotta say, I'm pretty opposed to that because we can barely get newly tooled vehicles from the actual in-universe, right?
Yeah.
And figures.
There's not and figures. Like there's really, like, I'm not really interested in blowing tooling on stuff that's not real.
Agreed.
You know what I mean?
Well,
but this, well, you get what I'm saying. Stuff that's canonized on film, whatever. This is different though, because this was actually canonized in the movie. So this is a case where I'm okay with it and it makes sense and it's cool. It's very cool because it was actually put into the universe. I'm not interested in stuff that's just a modern, interpretation of a Kenner mini rig. Like, okay, fine, do that in the retro collection then. Like, I'm not down for that in TVC. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Like, are you guys on the same page?
Fully agree. Fully agree.
Taking it back to like complete the teams, complete the scenes, and this is we practically completed the entire opening scene of the movie.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like we have existing AT-ATs, we have all the snow troopers and stuff. Now we have him. Like, we're pretty solid.
We need that damn polar mouse droid. I really want that polar mouse droid.
That we do
which
need.
is not included.
That we do.
And then the AT-AT commander guys. There's two of those. But.
Yes,
cool.
I do want those guys.
Yeah.
So, but the fact that we're asking for those guys, like we are so close, I'm really appreciative of the fact that they went really hard, at least on this opening scene, to get so many of the main things.
I love it. I'm gonna get a couple of them for sure.
I seriously. Go ahead,
the paint wash that they showed off in some of the interviews, Chris was showing it off to various
very
things.
detailed.
The paint wash looks fantastic. It looks awesome. They have so many moving parts, and it's not $200, which is very nice to see as well.
Dude, the price on this was awesome. This has been one of the many
like $50,
times,
right?
Yeah,
$51.99.
Yeah.
So you subtract 20 for the Commander Barrow, and you're getting a $30 mini rig, basically.
Yeah.
Or vehicle.
This for me was like one of the many times this year where I was like, on paper, no, I would have never even thought about picking this up. But then I saw the amount of detail, particularly on the inside of the vehicle. I was like blown away by the detail.
It's really
and then
cool.
you put on top of that, you give me the great price for it. For all things considered, I'm gonna pre-order one of these as soon as it goes up for order. Like, absolutely.
Reminds me of like I was saying the other day, the Rebel troop transport and the Imperial hover tank. It has the same level of quality paint applications that people were really hyped about. And then we kind of had that for a while, and we kind of lost it a little bit. So it's nice to get back to that as well.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Two things. The Rebel gun sled is a mini rig that needs to be made for ESP. It was literally on film, just off screen. Yes, 100% agreed. I've wanted that for years. We'll go into that later.
That's fair. Yeah, that was fair.
I forgot. Brandon, if you're still listening, please repaint the speeder bike that we already have as Stas Ali's speeder bike from Revenge of the Sith. Oh my God, put a clone trooper in there. It'd be so great. Okay,
yes,
thank
please.
you.
Also paint a black one and put out a Shadow Scout Trooper.
Sure.
Black one. Just saying.
But so this mini rig will be going up Thursday, August 13th, this upcoming Thursday at 1 p.m. Monday is the Comic-Con set.
Oh, there it is. There's the
note. Thank you.
But I will say one thing to the Scout Trooper. He needs his wrist to be fixed.
Yes.
Come on, Brandon.
Yes.
You know you want to.
Do the clone one first, because you're holding that right now. I already have that one. It's very cool.
Yeah, I do want the clone.
So give me Stas Ali's.
Yeah.
Okay, anyway.
So many.
Let's go. We've been to Nal Hutta. We've been to the Ice World. Let's go to Shikari. Oh, get your rain jackets on. But it's fight night. It's Friday night fight night because Rada the Hutt is finally here. Wow,
Oh.
my boy, the best
boy.
part of the movie. Stinky is back, and he's better than ever.
It's peak.
Oh, that
really
makes me
is.
so happy.
Dude.
Yes.
He was
And the dumb little,
amazing.
or the stupid little sword. I love it. I pointed it out on Toy Stream.
Yes. Finally, we already have the
Go
sword
Jen.
for Mando right here.
Dude.
Very
I got
excited
it.
to get this guy.
Yeah, I gotta say I'm more excited for this one than the Black Series one. For me,
Yes.
the biggest thing is that the TVC has that extra segment in the abs section. It's an extra
Yep.
piece of articulation, so like it'll get me a lot closer to getting the ground pound or rolling that he does. Like I can't wait to get this guy in hand. I can't wait.
Yeah, he
Yeah,
looks
it's
so
cool
cool.
when you pointed that out, and it makes sense now. So I
Yeah.
appreciate that as well.
Yeah.
especially when it
Does-
comes to like photos and posing.
Does his head rotate?
No.
Okay.
Does his head rotate in the movie? I'm not sure.
No, I was just looking at it. I was like, is that a scene? I couldn't tell.
I want to get him in the pose. I wish they had included his. March Madness is going to have his little massage droids
Oh
that,
yeah.
that are on his back when
Yeah,
Mando
yeah.
comes in.
Man, that would have been
Well,
ridiculous.
those knives look really nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
the
so many
axes, the
accessories.
knives. Alt hands. Hello.
Alt
That's
hands.
awesome.
That's rad.
Yeah.
Love he's got the tail.
I still wonder about
articulation,
some of
too.
the flexible plastic or whatever on here. I
Yep.
know people are wondering about that, but I'm sure. it'll be-
Oh, I have info on that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
we were talking
I'll give you the
about it
brief rundown. So I got to give a shout out to my buddy Alexander Storm from Shadow Nose Network. He was at SDCC, got to go to the Hasbro booth and got to see both the TVC and Black Series Radas. So from what he was telling me, and from what I think it was Eric was saying, the Black Series version, very similar thin rubbery plastic to what they did with Maximum Series Hulk from Marvel Legends. A lot of people are very concerned about that because in a lot of cases Maximum Hulk hasn't held up to the short test of time that he's been out, about 8 months now. People are starting to already get cracks around the shoulder joints.
It was tearing on like day one for most
Yeah,
folks.
yeah, out of the box. So this, from what he told me, he's a big Marvel Legends guy. Alexander Storm is. So he said that the TVC one feels a bit thicker and reminds him more of the Marvel Legends Gargantos, the big star character that they did for the Gamerverse line earlier this year,
Okay.
and it also has more range of motion than the Black Series does on the tail.
Interesting.
So I gotta say, I'm pretty excited for this one. He said he feels like, just from feeling the samples that they had at SDCC, he feels like the TVC one will stand the test of time a little better than Black Series. And so he ended up pre-ordering this one over the Black Series one. So
Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Love
That's
it.
Yeah.
how we're gonna get him.
yeah,
Looks beautiful. And again, back to Steve's social media, but he posted that he will fit in the Razor Crest, even though it'll be the
Sweet.
Razor Crest 1.0.
Love
But
that.
I'll take it.
Yep. Works for me, man.
So I don't know if you pulled it up, but we took an updated look at how the balance of scales. Did you add that
Yep.
or not? I don't know if
Yep,
you
I
added
did.
that.
I
but
did.
Let's take a look at how Mandalorian and Grogu is faring across the scales pretty well. A lot of those X's in the middle there are for the different Anzellans. Wouldn't they be nice in a multi-pack with Kaibu? You've got the digital sculpt. You don't need
Yes.
another Imbo. Let's put him in there, for God's sake, with plus Grogu from Nal Hutta.
And their little speeder.
Yes.
Really
yes.
impressed with the coverage for this.
they did a good job.
They did a good job. They really did.
And yes, I know a lot of it is, reuse and like stormtroopers and snowtroopers and whatnot, but it was smart reuse. It was reuse just like the movie did it, It makes sense.
It makes me, cautiously optimistic, or at least hopeful, or at least going into 2027 feeling better, like with a new movie with Starfighter coming, where it's like, okay, I hope we can get some decent enough coverage here. I don't expect it to be all of this because I assume there's probably a lot less they can reuse in terms of Imperial Remnant stuff, like they were able to cheat sheet, as you said, John. But yeah.
So the few things I would love all the Dejaric creatures, of course.
Yes.
Yeah.
But we'll see what happens. And then a Stap would be great. They could redo it for the prequels and the Clone Wars and everything.
Yeah.
That's another one. Brandon, can we get the check mark emoji, please?
Yeah.
Note taking emoji.
Stap, hit us. Come on, let's do it.
Stap. So many repaints for that thing. Even though
Yeah.
we do have
And Zelen Starship is a mini rig with all the
yes.
with all
Yes.
the,
There you go. Mini
Seconded or
Anzellans.
All the
thirded for
Anzellans.
the step.
And then yes, Colonel Ward could have been great in X-wing, but you know what? Anyway, not to reopen old wounds.
Yeah, it's fine. This is a huge step in the right direction. We fought for so long and championed so
There it
long.
is.
There it is. There's Brandon with the check mark of just trying to
He's
see
still
this
awake
kind of
somehow.
equity. Yeah, trying to see this kind of equity, in the line, like this parity here of pretty decent coverage, where no one group of collectors is too left out. Whereas, he's stark difference to stuff like Skeleton Crew and or Bad Batch, things, that hurts. But seeing this kind of thing is a huge step in the right direction. This is what we love to see when we talk about the vintage collection being relevant, staying on top of things, not falling too far behind, avoiding that self-fulfilling prophecy of, well, if you like the new movie, collect Black Series because that's your only hope. Where it's like, oh no, there's plenty for you to enjoy in vintage collection, and you get some extra stuff because of the world building capabilities. So
I think I picked up as a new TVC collector. I think I literally picked up every single thing except for Zeb from the new movie, and that was just out of pure interest. It had nothing to do with because it was from the movie.
Yeah,
but brother, my OCD will not let me get him, because if I get him, I can't have him hold the bow rifle because he doesn't hold it in the movie in that costume. So I can't do it.
Fair enough.
Oh, what's that? Tommy has won the giveaway for the free Zeb.
That's crazy.
Collusion. The giveaway that hasn't even happened yet.
There you go. Wow, only 3 hours and 4 minutes.
Woo!
Any other questions people have in the chat? I think we're good. We covered so much.
What are you talking about, dude?
Yeah.
This rookie
Brandon,
numbers.
Yes.
Brandon, if you're still watching,
have any question for
yeah,
us?
that's what I was gonna say. Well, let's see. Yeah,
my answer is yes.
Any
and.
questions from anyone else?
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, echoing that, Tommy. Yes, and for sure.
Yeah. Yeah. General answer is yes and.
This was a good stream. We haven't streamed in a long time. It's hard to, like John said, to line our schedules up. But when we got something to say, we really try to make time to say it. And I think this was a really good conversation with a lot of important points made. So thank you guys for taking the time to join us for this discussion. And thank you everybody in the chat who tuned in. But yeah, this is generally the part where we ask for questions. What mini rigs do we favor? None. We talked about that. No, I'm just kidding.
Actually though, none. I have one. I have them in Kenner. I have one of them in the actual original Kenner line.
Put them in the retro collection where they belong.
Mini rig with a pack and clone trooper.
Okay.
Top 3 clone commanders.
Hey, if only somebody just ran a troop builder poll, we could reference.
Wait,
so Brandon just asked top 3 clone commanders and top 3 clone troopers needed for TVC. Go. Blitz, what's your data show?
Bakara.
The data? Oh man. Let me pull that up on my phone here because I don't have it on hand. I got to give a shout out, by the way, to Muffin Man 27, my buddy James, for helping me with all of the visualizations.
Yes.
I agree with Tanith. The top 3 clone troopers, you got to finish the rest of those phase
Blue,
1
green,
officers.
and red.
Lieutenant, sergeant, captain. We need those. We really need those.
I don't want to go on another clone body without all 4.
Yep.
According to Galactic Conquest this year, the Star Wars Army fan poll for TVC, the 3 troopers that made it to the very end, made it to the final 4, were the Kashyyyk Trooper, the Galactic Marine, and the Clone Commando. So those are the 3. I think those are all great, fantastic troop builder options. As for the commanders...
Yeah, what were the best performing commanders?
Commander Bly made it very far. And then we've also got... I'm still looking here. Some of these are hard to find.
I'm jealous of the Black Series Doom. I'll just say that. I like that one.
Bro.
Me too.
Bro. He's so cool.
I just want to say the Airborne Trooper with his comma and the I don't know what are those dangling things that hang below his belt? There's a proper word for those. I can't think of what it is.
Yeah,
I was going to make a joke, but I'm just not.
In any case, the Airborne Trooper lends some tooling towards 327th and also Purge Troopers as well, by the way. But, you could use some of this for 327th for Bly and just for his Legion guys.
The top 3 commanders, according to the fan poll, because I would have my own personal wants other than the fan poll. Obviously, they're no-brainers. Bakara, Gree, and Bly from Revenge of the Sith. And then also, I didn't include him in the top 3 because he still made it far in the poll, but we technically have him. People really, really want an updated Commander Wolf.
Yes,
that doesn't have swivel hips. So.
That would be really cool.
And Wolf has a few different looks as well.
He does.
And that could be
He's
a way
like
that
5 different looks.
If we're talking about top 3 clone troopers, I would say Wrecker, Tech, and Echo.
yeah.
Just
Ooh,
throw
yeah,
that out there
true
once
that.
more for the love of God.
Yeah.
But yes, I know lots of repaints. and stuff as well.
With
So
Wolf, with Wolf, that's a way that with Wolf, that's a way that they could get, Plo Koon out again in the Clone Wars outfit. I've said it before. I'm always really jealous of those Clones of the Republic packs for Black Series. It's a really cool idea.
Yeah.
I like that.
I would say for me, my personal most wanted would be for the commanders. I really want Commander Jet from the Second Battle of Geonosis. That's Ki-Adi-Mundi's clone commander.
Yes.
Phase 2 Bly, obviously, because my stupid dad likes Commander Bly. And then
I want Bly too. I'm just gonna say I really want Bly as well, and the 327th general.
I feel like Rika, Tick, and Iku.
Okay.
And and then my other one would be Phase 1 Captain Rex, obviously.
Yes.
I feel like that's a big one.
Yeah.
But then for the
a good one for
troopers,
28. Yeah.
I got to go with, for the troopers, again, keeping with Second Battle of Geonosis, ties in with the lat. I really want the 212th ARF troopers from Second Battle of Geonosis with the camo. And then these have been my 2 for some reason that I've been really, really wanting are Clone Troopers Buzz and Draw from the Second Battle of Geonosis. They are 2 uniquely designed, complete repaints. Are
those the EOD guys with the EOD
41st
helmets?
Elite Corps? They just are regular clone troopers with 41st green markings, or my sweet Prince Denal.
Yes.
Love him as well. Yeah.
I gotta. If we're going a whole clone thing, I gotta say, I'm looking at my Galactic Conquest list because it was a very fun thing, as you said, just to focus on troopers.
Yeah.
Unmade ones from Clone Wars that you never did, that Hasbro never did in the animated line. Captain Keeley.
Oh, yes.
Commander Phil, Kit
Yes.
Fisto's clone commander. I need clone pilot Hawk in the Phase 1.5
Yes.
look. All the different clone pilots. I need multiple clone pilots. Keep repainting the HasLab clone pilot in all the different versions. Anyone that goes with the stickers that you have in the HasLab, I want those clone pilots.
Yes.
I need the clone ARF Sergeant Hound. I need Camino Security. I need Mace's 187th from the canon one from season 7.
Yes.
Also, when we say Gree, we're talking about Revenge of the Sith, highly decoed camo Gree, not the random one from some comic book.
I quite like this guy. I quite like this guy.
I like him too, but if I'm gonna go,
I will say though, that would probably have to be a deluxe figure with all that crazy deco.
Hey, who knows?
I'm saying that's what I want. I'm just being a realist.
They've surprised us this year with stuff.
Vaughn is another one. Yeah,
yes,
Cody
Vaughn, he was next on my list, and then I could keep. I will.
I'm going to chime in with the one clone that I actually know and feel any kind of attachment to, and it's if you're going to celebrate Clone Wars, you got to go all the way back to the beginning. Dark Horse Republic, Alpha, ARC Trooper Alpha,
Alpha 17. Yeah,
Yep.
Do the Munalist Troopers too. The Munalist ARC Troopers again.
Yeah, on the new body, those
sculpt.
dope.
And Fordo, the
we just got those like 4 years ago, but yes, that's the thing, the constant. Anyway, but yes.
I think we've got pretty much like the final ultimate clone sculpt that'll last.
I really
us
do
another
agree.
20 years. So.
I really do agree. Yeah,
they could be knocking those out. I mean, I keep seeing all these people getting the AliExpress versions, and I'm like, I don't want that. I want.
We've had so many imperfect clone sculpts for the past 2 decades. We had the antenna molds that lacked some articulation, and then they came out with the skinnies, and but now we have a really good definitive clone sculpt, and I see no need for them to make a new sculpt in 5 or 10 years. So just use this one and redo. You got a lot of redoing to do, unfortunately. But the good news is you have the tooling,
and you have people that want to buy them, so that helps too.
And you have tons of customers that want to buy them. Yep. So I'm one of them.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Yeah.
Yep.
I could talk clones all day.
Yeah. Any other questions?
I'm trying to remember why you hate Stash. What will it take to convince him to vote for him in future polls? I got to log off soon. I got to get some reading done.
Yeah.
But
gee, what could we be doing?
We'll see about that.
Alt hands. Hey, real quick, I just want to bring this up from Dr. Jones. We've been doing alt hands for Jedi. Love it. Great to see it. Let's do some alt hands for troopers, clone troopers and stormtroopers. You know, that to give
Hand
them
signal.
like command battle hands, right? Like pointing and like Captain
Rock
Fordo
on.
does with all of his.
Yeah.
Do alt hands for troopers. Yes.
Yeah.
I'm
Yes.
here for that.
Big time. That is a very good idea.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we just talked forever and it was great. And
This is rookie numbers.
again, like I said at the beginning of the show, I said, oh boy, I think I need to take a step back. And here I am on hour 13 now of streams. It's great. It's great.
Hold it back in.
It's great. So there's a lot to be excited about. There's a lot to be happy about. There's been so much good, so much cool stuff happening, not just in terms of figures that we're getting, but in terms of, Hasbro engaging with the community, doing fan reveals and stuff with fan sites, not just us, but, Boss Bounty, the Sith, like, I'm not saying it just because we got to do one, but,
Yes.
and the community out there, we neglected to shout out, the Last Figure Standing guys, congrats on doing the work as well. It's no small feat to do these. Blitz, all of your fan engagement with the polls that you do. Anybody running fan polls.
And we'll be having Ultimate Battle Station. We'll be checking in soon.
Yes.
That's his Imperial Officer poll that we've been promising for a few months now. We're coordinating on that, so stay tuned very soon for that.
Yes. And so anyway, the conversations are still happening, and we can go ahead and keep freaking out about the packaging change that isn't happening. It's it's fine, man. So I appreciate the hell out of all of you guys here on the stream with me, and all of you folks that are still watching. There's 93 people still watching right now for some reason.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you for being here on a Friday night. I joked about how I know we don't have better things to do, but I know we all have better things to do.
What's better than this, for God's sake?
It means a lot to spend this time with y'all. So I do, toys.
Guys being dudes.
Yeah, just guys being dudes about dolls and stuff. So let's do some plugs real quick. Toys of the Way. I mean, where can folks find you? It might be self-explanatory.
It's pretty self-explanatory. You can find me on Instagram and YouTube at Toys Are the Way.
Perfect. And what are you up to these days?
Apparently streaming a lot because you and I and Tommy over here did a 5-hour stream, and now we're
Yeah,
back
no,
here
it's-
another 3 hours. And
It
again,
didn't
it's
seem
just-
like 5 hours. I got to say,
Yeah, it felt
was
like 12 when I was
It
in
honestly went by quick. It was good times, good conversations, guys. But other than that, I'm just doing my thing, taking photos, trying to have fun with these figures, and hopefully get some stuff in soon and take some pictures and reviews of them.
Yeah.
Heck yeah, man. I'm
Can't
always
wait to
excited.
see
whenever-
your Cantina clone bar fight photos.
Oh, I got
Yeah.
you. Don't you
Yes,
worry.
yes.
Exciting, man. Hey, Tommy, what are you up to? Where can folks find you?
You can find me most active on Instagram and YouTube. I have finally made I've made a Facebook account, so I've started joining. I joined John Miko's group. I joined Dean's group on Facebook, so I'm starting to familiarize myself with Facebook now. Also, all my other links are in my link tree and all my social media, so I'm not going to go down the laundry list. But my content has been a little sparse the last month or two. I've been doing a lot more live streams. But I plan to get more in package in the mail. My Star Wars guys got me some grails I bought off him last night, so super excited about that. I do have awesome videos planned. I kind of took the last month to revamp my channel because I got married, I went on my honeymoon, did all that
Yes, congrats.
expensive,
Yeah, congrats,
awesome
dude.
stuff. So
went to Naboo, by the way.
Yeah.
went to
Same.
Naboo with some TVC in pocket.
That was pretty legendary, I got to
Dude,
say.
please tell me you tried to pull the I don't like sand on your wife.
Once or twice. It was really cool. I don't think anyone else can say they brought TVC figures to pose around
Lake Como.
What
What a dream, man.
I have lots of stuff to review. I'm going to start easing back into my reviews. I'm going to start easing back into my weekly series. Like I do the Blitzcast every Sunday. I do the After Action Figure Report every Saturday, more of a newsy show. And then just other more topical videos. I want to get more into, and TVC has really helped with that this year, more into the display and how to have fun with your action figures and do different things with them than just class photo style shelving. And I'm really excited to show off what I've got in the works. But other than that, I need to go pet my dog. Look at that handsome boy right there.
Yes.
The obligatory Chewy.
Yep.
Big old.
And I do have links
It's
to Blitz and Toys Are the Ways channels in the
Thank you.
description of this live stream. Make sure if one, like and subscribe to this video, that if you're still watching it or if you're watching whatever, like and subscribe to our channel at SWTVC. But make sure you're also subscribed to Blitz Transmissions and Toys Are the Way.
Thank you.
You do not want to miss the stuff that they're putting out. It's always a blast. I always am excited to see it cross my feed. So Tyler, anything you
Lorena,
know?
I just wanted to say, Lorena, I hope you saw the Chewy appearance. He usually makes at least one appearance per stream. But on a more serious note, once again, thank you guys for taking the time to have this conversation. Everybody in the chat, thank you for giving us your Friday evening to watch and join in the conversation. Really, really awesome. And thank you, Brandon, for spending so much of your time to engage with us. And talk with us. You know, it's so freaking cool. Every time that you jump in these chats and talk with the community, we're really thankful for it. I'm sure, you know, someone's gonna be like, chill, but no, genuinely, I am seriously genuinely grateful, you know, for your time and attention. So thank you. Great conversation, guys.
Yeah.
Really good stuff.
Cool. John, how about you, man?
Yes, same thing. Thanks to all you guys here on the stream. Thanks to everyone in the chat. Thanks to everyone watching in the future, and thanks to Brandon for hanging out with us and dropping some fun facts and asking for a wish. I got to brush up all my wish lists of every possible topic.
Yeah,
Brandon, you hit me with the great. I do these outlines for hours on end, and then you're like, "What's this?" And I'm like, "Oh crap! Now that's all I'm going to think about for the next few days." But
don't worry, it'll be a new SWTVC post in the next few days.
Perfect. So stay tuned for that. See you in September for what comes next.
Brandon, yep.
See, all our complaints. I got my Ore. I'm a happy camper. I've been waiting for this guy since 2002. For God's sake, something I did not really think I was ever going to see. So these are the kind of things that. So thank you all. Thanks everybody.
Yeah. Heck yeah. Well, let's wrap up then. I think that does it for another episode of the SWTVC show. Remember, the best way to keep 375 alive is for us to all keep it alive together. I'm happy to be able to sit here and chat with you fine folks about it, as well as, all the fun stuff we're doing on Instagram. Make sure that you're following all these folks here on the stream. You're subscribed to the channel, and that you're following at SWTVC on Instagram. If you do the social meds, we're also on Discord, I think in Darth Xander's channel. Keep up with all the fun stuff we do. We try to put a lot of work into some stuff. It's not just, sharing press assets. Tyler and Lewis are always on top of it and getting out tons of community showcase out there of folks, photography in their collections, keeping it going day to day. Really appreciate it. And then sometimes whenever John and I feel like we want to have something to say, we'll occasionally pop in with hey, here's the thing I spent 40 hours on, and now I'll see you guys in 3 months. So. All right. So that's the end of this episode. Thanks for spending a Friday night / Saturday morning with us. I really appreciate you all. As always, friends, back TVC, keep 375 alive. And since I'm the last person to talk, bring me Ben Solo in 2028, Brandon, and may the force be with you. See you, everybody.